1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's the first time I've ever seen Char with the first message. But hit the like button as you come in, please. Support the channel. The channel support link is in the chat. No, you're not late. It just started, Adrian. I'm late. Neon Eyes, what's going on? Adrian, what's happening? So what's good, everybody? The end of summer. What's good? Hope everybody had a good summer. Everybody's getting ready for the fall, football season, basketball season, the holiday season. It's actually accelerated. I just got somebody just sent me a link that said China canceled the trade talks, so it's going to accelerate. But that was already baked in the cake when Trump got nominated. They were talking about him being an isolationist right when before he got inaugurated. In fact, the Chinese premier was actually talking about that, about him not following an isolationist path. But it looks like that's what he's going to do. Now we have to see what the fallout's going to be. Walmart said they're going to get hit. So if Walmart gets hit, that means there's a lot of people going to lose their jobs, because the vast majority of what Walmart gets comes from China. And there's automotive parts that they can't get anyplace else except from China. So that's gonna take a hit. So it could affect up to like maybe a million or two people, million or two workers. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Nobody can predict. It's like how many pieces can a broken plate fall into? Nobody knows. No, I think there's sexual harassment. When you put men and women together, there's going to be flirtatiousness. There's going to be touching. There's going to be all kinds of stuff, and somebody's going to carry it too far. So the McDonald's has maybe 25 cases of sexual harassment. When you look at how many people actually work for McDonald's, we're talking about millions of people actually work for McDonald's. That's a very tiny percentage. But the thing is, that tiny percentage will actually get all the news, especially in this atmosphere. It only takes one or two people. Mr. Prince, what's going on? The like button is to your left, folks. Please hit the like button on your way in. Donate to the channel if you can. Hit the support here link that Charlie Willie's posting. If you enjoy the channel, I am going to try to put up more content on this channel, more pre-recorded content, because I looked at looked at my stats and I said it's woefully inadequate. So I'm trying to scan some books. In fact, I'm working on scanning a book, The Alchemy of Love and Lust. I'm going to try to start working on that. That's usually Alchemy of Love and Lust is usually the book I recommend to all women. All women all girls and women that are of past puberty. Um, I recommend it to men so they can understand how to game women. So, so if you want to know game, you want to understand women and how to game them, at least sexually, The Alchemy of Love and Lust is a good book. But normally I recommend it for women. But it's advanced. But if you read The Alchemy of Love and Lust, it's almost like advanced game for men because you start telling you can actually. Most women do not know their bodies, believe it or not. You would think they do, but they don't. Most women do not know their bodies, and they don't. Most black women don't know their bodies sexually. So if when the guys that I have taught and talked to and counseled, when you give them game, it blows women's mind because they never encountered it because they're not in touch with it. And a lot of these, and a lot of there's a lot of things that there's a lot of stuff in that book that can actually help release chemicals in a woman's body that will actually um, physically emotionally start to affect her. So I said it's good game. What's up, Art? Hit the like button on your way in, please. Hit the like button on your way in. Got 44 watching. I only have 18 likes. Come on, y'all. Hit the like button on your way. You guys know the drill. You guys here every week. And I got one hater. Good. Welcome. I should have more haters than that though. This is a women's channel. Oh, there's number two. Okay. I know I had some. So what do you guys want to talk about besides me rambling? The molecules of emotion. Never heard of that one. I have to look that one up. Yeah, the Alchemy of Love and Lust. They killed her book. They killed her book right when it came out. Man, the feminists did not want that one out. They killed that one, and that shit works. Yeah, yeah. She probably. I think she came into her workplace to get revenge. So as soon as they said it was a sister, I said, okay, I know what it was. She got pissed off, and she had her targets are already marked out. It wasn't just something willy nilly. Yeah, it was a workplace. Did they ever find out what was the strife between her and the co-workers that she shot? Why will because it's real simple, Neon. You should know that. If a woman is willing to have a child for you, that means she normally cares for you, especially if you're not, if you're not me. If she's your first, that means there's always going to be a bond and love because she had to love you or care for you enough to have a baby for you. And the only way the only thing that will stop you from having access to her womb is if there's another man in place, and she's going to jeopardize her relationship by doing that. Which is why most guys do not like dating single mothers. because they're afraid that that dude's going to have access to her. But well, it used to be the bro code that is if somebody's willing to help take care of your kids, you don't violate his house, because that's going to put your children in a bad light. Yeah, the imprint's part of it. The imprint's part of it. She had to have something very strong emotions for you to have a child for you. But that's the reason that at least the reasons that I found um, where you won't have access to a woman is if she's got another man and she's in a relationship with another man. That will normally cut it off. Now, when if she's not in a relationship, that's another story. Because I always had that issue with the dudes that my ex has been with. First thing they want to check, see what I'm up to before they take the plunge. Walk up to me asking me stupid shit. Blah blah blah. Nigga, if I still wanted her, I'd still be with her. Don't worry about me. But most dudes have a code. They don't go around messing with their baby mama um, if the kids are being taken care of. You know, you got to go back and look at the imprint videos, Bridget, to understand. You're about a year and a half late. In fact, Obsidian had a he just had uh, a conniption when somebody even mentioned me talking about the imprint. All right, folks, hit the like button on your way in. Hit the like button on your way in. You got two buttons. You have a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And all you haters, I know that are lurking, hit the thumbs down if you're in here. Oh yeah, because it's well, me and Ron know about it because we've used it. And we tell guys how to use it. Women actually use it unconsciously. Use it the male imprint unconsciously. You see all those IG models by shaping themselves and forming and looking a certain way. Okay, they're trying to conform to the dude's imprint. Suge Knight, not lately. I didn't hear anything about Suge Knight lately. I think the last I heard, did they reduce his sentence or something like that? I forget what it was. Did they? I know they sentenced him. I don't know if he got all the time he was supposed to. Uh, I shed no tears for Suge Knight. I shed no tears for Suge Knight. The game is the game, and he would say the same thing. Yeah. How many years you get? uh, yeah, yeah, filling them. Well, hopefully, they were on pills when you filled them with your special fluid, Humble Wolf. Especially in Great Britain. I heard about the child support laws in Great Britain. They're probably worse than it is in the U.S. So if okay, on backlog. Uh, yeah, I'm supposed to put them out every day, but I I I'm not always inspired every day, even though um one day I might do one week I might do that. I say I could put out 10 videos a day and still not catch up. I might do that one week and just try to put out like 10 videos a day and see what happens. Because I am backlogged. Hey, he's a grown man. So if he's filling women up with the fluid, well, he's a bigger risk taker than I am. Yeah, I heard the Browns finally won yesterday. The new quarterback's talking shit already. But if he's the real deal, he's the real deal. I actually have to look at it. Look at the replay. I haven't seen it. Woo! What's going on, Officer Charles? You recuperating from last week? How do I think sub-Saharan African women what? Imprints. No, the pills aren't 100%, but they are 99.9%. What they found out is why when the pills don't work is when women don't take them like they're supposed to. The reason white women don't have as many abortions, one reason they don't have as many abortions is because they do take their pills religiously. How do they that's a good question. Nobody knows. Probably was like anything else, millions of years of evolution. It's the only way. The only way it could have happened. And you have an abundance. So the temperature, the region, all that stuff will factor into how many children you can support. How many children, your fertility rate too, I'm sure. Well, Charles is cool. Charles, he feeds them after he slays them. So I have to give him kudos. It is yeah, part not really because the diet is when they came here, the diet was poor, but their fertility rate was still high. The fertility rate was 9 for from African slaves when they female slaves when they brought them over here. So it's they said it's pretty consistent. So it's not it has more with genetics than it does with the diet because the fertility rate if it was unencumbered by abortion and pills, the fertility rate for Black women would be exactly the same as the ones on the continent. And the biggest factor in the fertility rate here in the United States is Black men wear more condoms than anybody else. Yeah, but I'm saying is, yeah, they might have, but the thing is, if you look at the fertility, if you look at the fertility rates and the male female ratios all over the diaspora, they're in line with everybody else. So they're almost precisely the same. Diet has something to do with it, but not as much as you think. In fact, calories has a lot more to do with it than it does with the special diet. If you give a woman enough calories, her fertility rate will go up for Black women. Partly, yeah. Well, it's not the variance is very small. The only reason the fertility rate is clamped down in the United States is basically two things: condoms and abortion. Because if you look at abortion, the fertility rate without abortion for Black women in America should be right around 3.5. If you take out the condoms, then her fertility rate probably is right around 4 or 5, which is what it used to be. That's how come they want to get. That's how come they can't get the African men to use condoms. They get the African men to use condoms, the fertility rate will drop. Which is why they're really pushing. Which is why the white folks, the Europeans, are actually really pushing condoms and birth control. In fact, they have a specialized birth control that was actually developed. A specialized shot that was developed in Africa for that black women can actually administer themselves at home without going to a clinic, which is interesting. But if Europe wants to have any kind of future, they have to get the African fertility rate down. If they don't, it's over. In fact, they'll be over in 20 years. The Africans are already past the European continent and already past the European continent in the number of people, and in another generation it'll double. So there'll be the African continent will be at 2 billion in a generation, and the Europeans are going to be in trouble. So in 20 years, it's baby Katie barred the door. There's nothing they can do about it. They probably already won. Uh, the thing is that as long as there was no you can see as soon as as soon as there was infrastructure, right? As soon as there was more food, guess what happened? The fertility rate shot right up, and all of a sudden you had this big population boom on the continent. As soon as they got enough food, so they had been stripping food from the African continent to keep the number of people down. They did that with slaves in America. They took the food away, so they basically cut the fertility rate of black women by just taking away the food. And as soon as they, it's because what is it? The For African slaves, the fertility rate was 9. In 80 years, basically, they had a tenfold increase in population. If they actually, I'll actually put the article up about Ghana. They said in when Ghana in 57, when Ghana got its 55, when Ghana got its independence, um, they had the same fertility. They had the same amount of people as Norway. Okay, Norway had like 3 or 4 million people, and Ghana had 4 or 5 million people. Now in Norway, the population is 7 million, and Ghana is 30. It shows you the fertility rate of the black female, and that's before widespread contraception. All right, support the channel. Hit the like button, please. I got 66 watching, and I got 37 people with their thumbs up. Anything else? Special sauce keeps you young. Okay. You in here campaigning, Humble Wolf? You're on the other side of the pond, man. All right, Humble Wolf, stop campaigning. Hit the like button. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we get started? Charwillie, you can come on in anytime you want. I do believe I emailed you the link already. I think. Did I email the link already? Let me make sure. Actually, it's not. Actually, it's not. At least Not from what I can tell. It's actually low. Actually, they have the lowest in America, from what I can tell. From me looking at it, I'll look at it again. And the Native Americans do not have a high fertility rate. It's actually lower than white women. And then that probably has to do more with environment, where they're where they've been put on reservations. Oh, he spanks himself to sleep. Yeah, well, sounds like it. Yeah, well, I don't know what he's spanking, but hope it's not the monkey. All right. But anybody want Humble Wolf special sauce? I'm sure he'll be. I'm sure he'll put his email in the chat room. You can get at him. He might even get a free flight to London to go along with the special sauce.
Oh my goodness, too funny.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Normally you laugh that off. Normally you mute yourself when you laugh like that.
He needs to quit it. He just wants some attention.
Yeah, well, hey, if he, I let the first few go. I said, okay, I'm gonna let him get it in. Go ahead and advertise, see if he can catch anything. And after a while, okay, it's getting redundant. Okay, you ain't got no takers yet, so I'm surprised he didn't drop his email in the box for a free sample. Get a 2-for-1 special with a coupon, huh? What is it?
Oh,
Is it so Humble Wolf? Is it hot sauce or mild sauce? Because the Chicago girls like mild sauce. Got a lot of Chicago women in here, so it's got to be mild.
he gonna say hot just because of that.
Oh my goodness! You never
Oh
know what
my
goes
goodness.
on.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
Oh, I'll believe so you don't have to. It is that time of the month, so you might have to. But I recommend. There's three things this time of month. If you're gonna do, there's three things that I recommend. Okay, one is a Midol. Okay, because she's gonna have cramps. Okay, two, there's a acupressure spot right near the base of her spine, right near the base of her hip, right near her spine. You massage that for about 10, 15 minutes. Three, a hot bath, because the hot water will temporarily suspend the bleeding. Okay, that'll give you about a good 30 minutes. Do those three things, you have a good time, no matter what time of month it is.
Let's see if he knows about that.
Uh, if
We're
you've been
talking
in
about
a long-term relationship, you know about it. Actually, really, honest to God, women actually get horny during their period. Believe it or not,
yeah.
they just don't want the mess. So you can get rid of the mess. But I learned, who did I learn that? Oh, it was the 40-year-old woman. She taught me that.
Hmm.
She was horny, and it was that time of the month. So we did those three things: Midol, acupressure, bathtub. Boom. Never. It always got busy. Never. It was never a problem. And I was going like beans and porridge. So,
Yeah, I knew he's gonna say hot. I knew that.
you knew that, huh? He ain't
Just
dropped it.
because.
He ain't dropped his email in with his coupon. Oh, see, Officer Charles knows what I'm talking about the hot bathtub, hot bath water. A towel, yeah, maybe. Just in case you put a towel down, just in case. But the thing is, don't get too happy. Okay, and two, don't you can't do that all night because after about 30 minutes, the flow will come back, and then you have a problem. But if you just need like a quickie, that's what you do.
Like Grandma always say, it don't take all night to do nothing.
Yeah, grandma knows. Grandma knows. If you know what you're doing in about 15 minutes, for a good quickie. Hey, Taria, what's going on? Jump in, cats. What you got to say? Cat got your tongue?
You ready to start the Me Too?
Meow.
Sound like one of them Nolans alley cats.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And things is evil.
Ain't they though? They well fed though.
Yeah.
They well fed.
I don't even know why I started calling myself that because I do not like cats.
Well, do tell why.
Because they're evil.
I know. Well, I know why you don't like cats. Why did you start naming yourself cats?
Oh, it was an acronym for
Oh.
because I made this account like 10 years ago.
Uh
And it stands for kick ass in the summertime.
huh. I should have known.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. That's what a nickname somebody gave me.
Okay.
So that's what I started using on YouTube.
Okay. Well, somebody thinks you're a cat.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Not one of your favorite people, huh?
Eh. You ever seen the movie Mean Girls?
Mm-hmm.
And you know how like the main character was like frenemies with the like the most popular girl in school.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And funny enough, she was actually obsessed with the movie Mean Girls when it came out.
She saw herself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did not kick that much ass, Charles.
You're not taking credit for it, huh?
Nah, she's not. She in the fighter. She's a cutter. Don't if you take her to that level.
Yeah. Yeah. But what did Shar want to talk about?
Open topic, I guess. Unless you want to talk
Yeah.
about Me Too in the church.
Yeah, did you want to start there?
Sure. Like what aspect are we talking about? Like pastors who are actually doing things, or are we talking about what like the women that protect them or what?
Well, yeah. How's Me Too gonna work when you have all this stuff going on in the church? It's not like you're discouraging the pastor from doing things. You're encouraging the pastor to do things.
I think the problem with it is like a lot of the people who are probably getting Me Too'd in church,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably children, and it's probably the adults that are mostly like the mothers and stuff that are protecting it. So I don't really know like how that would work, because I know like it's supposed to be some type of feminist thing. And but the thing is, like, say some of the churches I've gone to, I've known just as many guys who said that they were like touched inappropriately when they were children in church as girls who said something.
Hold on a second. Humble Wolf, chill out, man. Not that kind of party. We gave you your leeway. Okay, chill out. It's not a dating site. All right.
So like a lot of the parents and I guess like the clergy and stuff, they're the ones who are protecting the adults who mess with the children and stuff. So I don't know necessarily how that would work, because I've seen it with like I've seen it happening with both genders, and even like still even with adults, because you know you have some women who will turn up pregnant for the pastor or something, or some women who claim that the pastor tried to proposition them. I've known a situation where a grown man was propositioned, you know,
by the pastor. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. You had a whole church for. Remember what was his name?
Eddie Long.
Eddie Long. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie Long had what, 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah. So
seems like the mega churches are the ones that's doing the most. I don't know, but
I think it's pretty consistent across the board. I think there's just more people in the mega church to spread the wealth around.
Yeah.
That's how come I wondered how. That's why I said I said it's probably good to drive more of the men out of the church.
That is actually interesting, because don't other religions have like separate services for different genders? Like
only the Muslims.
Oh, okay.
Muslims are the only one. I don't think the Jewish people do it. I think it's only the Muslims.
They only had a separation with choirs and all that kind of stuff, I think. Like men's choir, women choir, in like Baptist churches that I know of. They'll separate. They have the men's board, women board, his board.
They'll have that, yeah.
But you know, they have like the deacon and deaconess. They'll have like what's it called? Yeah, they'll have like a woman's choir and a man's choir, and then they have like an integrated choir, and they'll have children's choir and young adults choir and stuff. As for also Bible study, they'll separate that by gender sometimes. I've seen where they'll have the older men, and then the younger boys, and then the older women, and then the younger girls.
Yeah.
So
which makes sense.
I mean, so it's not really that far-fetched if they separate services. I just don't see how that would actually stop any of the sexual deviancy unless somebody gets prosecuted, really. And then like, as for in your video you said something about female ministers. There are actually a lot of people who do not agree with that.
I know.
As much as they like to talk about like black feminism in the church, there are quite a few people who don't think women should be in the pulpit. So that's another thing. Like I don't know how that would work. If they had like a female pastor, I don't know how many women would really attend.
Well, you know what they found out, and I think there's they found this out, is that the vast majority of women do not like being led by another woman.
Right. a good example of that is the past election, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Hillary tried to play the whole feminism card, and that backfired like a whole lot.
Yeah. Yeah. The men are ambivalent about it. Well, men don't really. They found out the men may are actually more open to actually having a woman boss than than the females actually are, which I thought was strange.
Um,
In fact, this lady, this famous story about this woman that was she was a TV producer, and she wanted to start her own production company, and she wanted to have it an all female staff. So she took her money that she got, and she started an all female production staff. And she found out that was a disaster because other women do not like to be told what to do by a female boss. Two, women left to their own devices will click up, and three, what she found out is without the presence of women are not that productive without the presence of men. That's what she found out.
Well, there is a lot of gossipy stuff that goes on. Like, I mostly stay to myself, but yeah, like, I don't know. They just spend too much time talking about why a plan wouldn't work or why this or that, you know. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Imprint said he says he said at work. It's for whatever reason. And there's a rivalry between women, and every woman wants to be queen. And and women then naturally form cliques.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was interesting. So I actually encourage it because it will actually benefit the men. Because I think if you're going to start the Christian church again, and you want men to come, you have to go about it a different way. The reason you don't have men is because you don't have men and women learn differently. So you're giving women what they want, which is emotional support, but you're not giving men what they want in the church. Men don't go to the church for emotion. They go to learn. So if you can teach a guy something, or whatever it is, he's more likely to come back. But if you're just giving him emotion and a few words, he's sooner or later he's going to drop off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gonna leave. He said, "You can keep your boom shakalaka to yourself. I'm out."
Yeah. Like, I know a couple of guys who've quit and rejoined like the same church over and over again because like they figure it'll help them, but then after a couple of weeks they think it's BS, so they kind of just fall off going, and then they end up rejoining again, thinking that they're gonna somehow turn their life around or whatever.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, then they figure that's what's missing, and they go back for emotional support, and when they get in saying that's not enough, then they quit again.
Yeah.
Because there's, like I said, well, you guys notice it here. There's a different way I talk to you guys than I talk to the men.
Yeah.
And the flow in the men's channel is completely different than here.
Yeah.
And I say like the best part of church would be like I guess the different ministries and programs and events that they plan in order to like help people. Like if your church has like a prison ministry and they get presents for children whose parents might be in prison, right? Or volunteer at a super kitchen, or have the youth ministry where you're trying to help the children and stuff. Like I think all that's beneficial. I don't necessarily know about the church service like that's the type of stuff that makes you feel good because the choir sings real nice. The preacher's very charismatic, but like all that other stuff is probably more important than the actual show to me.
Yeah, it is a show.
That's what the vast majority of women go for. What they go for the emotional.
Yeah, the show.
Yeah, they go, well,
Mhm.
it's to cleanse themselves
Hmm.
and give them their sins an emotional release,
Yeah.
so they feel like they're doing the right thing.
Hmm.
And if you make women feel good, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna open their purse.
Yeah.
Whereas men, you got to show results. What have you done? Where's the money going? Why am I giving my money, especially black men? Why am I giving my money? That kind of
Hmm.
stuff.
I don't know why
Yeah.
you go down that place. What you going there for? I ain't going. You ain't gonna get me to go.
Shoot. That's understandable though. It's
Mm,
like some people don't really have money to be wasting like that. So if they feel like their money is not going to anything good, then
mhm.
they're not gonna give that 10%.
Mhm. And that building fund, that's a mofo. Yeah, that building fund, that
The building,
trusty building
the
fund.
trusty building fund, yeah, or maybe or the big one when they burn in the mortgage. You have a whole month of a revival because we're gonna burn the mortgage.
Right. Yeah, you don't really see a lot of results. And I know when I was looking for a church, it taken many years to find someone that actually was doing something,
Mm-hmm.
not just talking, not doing cartwheels and all that kind of stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
5 choirs. And I'm like, what is all of this? And actually, when I moved, um, it taken so long to get there, I just stopped going. And I'm wondering how they're doing. But they actually help people get out of debt.
Mm-hmm.
They had grant writers, homework help.
Mm-hmm.
They actually visited the sick. And something else I liked about them. They actually got out there and did something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh, like if you had something going on in your household, like say you might have had a fire or you displaced some kind of way because of domestic violence,
Mm-hmm.
they actually help people. And I've never seen a community like that before in a church, and I really enjoyed that. But a lot of places out there, it's just for the feels, as you say.
Yeah,
That's it.
the fields and entertainment, right? Yep.
Hmm.
That's how come it's so female dominated. But did that church have a lot more men in that church?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, that's the
yes, a
difference.
lot of men and a lot of couples too.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
If you want to get the men back, you have to be productive. You have to teach, and you have to be productive because men are goal oriented.
Yeah.
Women, not so much.
Yeah.
Women love the nest, so and we're gonna pray for you to get a husband. Lay hands on you instead of
Pray
instead.
for her to get her husband.
Yeah, and pray for you get help instead of like what
Teaching
a
her
man would
what
do. Said, okay,
qualities she needs
say what?
instead of teaching her what qualities she needs to get one. They
Exactly.
pray for her to get one instead of saying, you know what,
Hmm.
these are the things that you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
This is the type of person that you need to work on being.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way it will attract, men of a certain quality
Mm-hmm.
to you. And you can begin to kind of have your pick. And but the churches, I became disenchanted with the church at like 12 or 13.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's an emotional band-aid that doesn't really attack the problems that you have most times, so that you can actually correct yourself to become a better individual, more productive individual. So once I realized that it doesn't really do that, I just sort of was like, it was going through the motions because, I mean, when I was raised in the church, my mother wasn't going to stop going.
Mm-hmm.
And by me being 12 or 13, that means by proxy, I'm going to go.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing I got out of church was the choir because I could sing.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it was useless for me.
Yeah, that's the difference between a male-dominated system and a female-dominated system, because the focus is different. Like just like Kendra was saying, women will a female-dominated church will actually pray for you, emotionally give you emotional support, and pray for you to get a husband. But a male-dominated system is, okay, we're gonna teach you how to attract one,
Mm-hmm.
which is more focused on teaching, which is why you can tell there's a certain quality of women that actually um, um, are attracted to certain movements, like say even the Hebrew Israelites, even though they're on the margins, on the fringes, but the thing is, it's still male dominated, and they focus on teaching, whether you believe in their teaching or not. So there's a certain kind of woman that will be attracted to that kind of guy, to that kind of movement.
Yeah. It's funny you should bring up the Hebrew Israelites. I actually know a pastor who he teaches at Xavier University, and he can't stand the Hebrew Israelites. But I guess he had like a bad experience with them or something. Because he like anytime he talks to people about religion, he's all like, "Have y'all ever encountered these people? Aren't they just like the worst and all that?" Like, I'm all like,
they're very aggressive. Let's put it that way. That's what turns a lot of people off, is their aggression.
Yeah.
I always wondered why they're yelling all the time.
Yeah. I don't know much about them except that like people find them annoying for some reason. But
even at least it lets the Jehovah's Witness off the hook. At least when they were aggressive, but at least they were polite.
Yeah, they are aggressive but polite. I had one that used to come to my house, wrong daughter, knock on. And I used to swerve her all the time. She seemed like a nice old lady. So one day I invited her in and she thought, yeah, I got one. Till I came down in full hijab and she was like, okay, what's this about? I said, you want to come up? She was like, sure.
What am I walking into?
Yeah, it's a trap. And I was very polite with her. I let her speak first. She gave me the pamphlet. You know, she went through her whole deal. I didn't hurt her too bad. I didn't hurt her feelings too bad because she kept coming back. She kept coming back to me.
Okay.
She was like, you know, you're so nice and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But every time she would come, you know, I would pat her head and then I would give her a gut shot. And then I would pat her again.
Oh, that's mean. That's typical Gemini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can't say certain things to me. You know, those were the days where I was always spending time on like religious debate forums. So that was honed skill. Like, yeah, I feel like I want to flex a little bit. Yeah, come on, Jehovah's Witness. Sit down. Give me the pamphlet. Tell me your whole thing, and then I'll go through it and punch a hole in each one, and then I'll give you some water, and I'll smile at you, and I'll bid you adieu until next week.
How long did she keep coming back?
About 6 months.
Oh, okay. She learned a lot,
wow.
though. She honing her skills.
Yeah. Until that time she came back, I said, "Where are your pamphlets?" And she hesitated a little bit. She said, I didn't bring them today. I said, "Oh."
Wow.
I usually get them when I relate the Bible to physics.
Oh,
I know they be like, what?
What? Yes, yeah. It's the God speaking is patah, and patah is physics, which is the Big Bang. The Big Bang's not a boom; it's vibration.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would have problems with Mormons. Never Jehovah's Witnesses. What happened was that my stepdad started going to this Mormon church because his English teacher invited him. And I think that's how they got a lot of Hispanic people to go to that church.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seemed like they was all being invited by some white person who was teaching English. And they would have like their little, I guess, evangelists come over to the house. Oh God, like a couple of times a week. You couldn't escape them people. Like, oh my God.
I had started noticing them in the black community more often. I don't know what that was about. It would always be two guys, two young white guys.
Mm-hmm.
They would ride bicycles.
Mm-hmm.
You talking
And
about the Moody Bible people?
they didn't say we're from Moody Bible. I don't know where they were from,
Because
but
the Moody Bible ones are always really present in all the places. And those are my favorites. Anyway,
Yeah, for some reason back, I think it was like maybe they started accepting black folks in the late 70s. And for some odd reason, they have been trying to incorporate more and more black people into the Mormon church. Maybe they actually believe in demographics and hereditary. They're actually big on that. So maybe they need black genes. Maybe they noticed something. So I see a lot of black dudes that have married Mormon women when I didn't used to see that. So maybe they're trying to fortify their stock.
well, you would have to when you're marrying biological sisters
Mm-hmm.
and they're having children for you, you're going to have to do something with your gene pool
Mm-hmm.
because that muddies it too much. Because the children are brothers and sisters and cousins.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Ew.
Well, it doesn't. That's Sherwin's probably right. They're trying to save their genetic lineage by incorporating black folks. Probably why they kept us around all this time.
Yeah, but I haven't seen them in a while.
Mm-hmm.
They used to always be around. You couldn't escape them. Always traveled in twos.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, disciples always traveled in twos.
And there's something about they have a website, and this one I can't understand. There's a website that has anyone's death, and you can actually Google anyone's death, and they'll have all the information. How the date of birth,
Mm-hmm.
death, social security number.
Yeah,
I'm
they
like,
have the
why?
biggest genealogical site in the United States. The Mormons do. They keep track of all that stuff.
And I wonder why though.
I think it's their mission to keep track of people, like the genealogy. But they said the Mormons have the most comprehensive genealogical site in the United States.
Yeah, they do. I looked it up. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wow.
Mm-hmm. They're real big on genealogy.
Yeah.
It's a bit much, but okay.
Because most of those little movements aren't religions anymore.
They're not what, Kendra?
Not. I'm sorry. I was saying like most of those little movements and stuff, they aren't religions anyway. Not in the traditional sense.
Mm-hmm.
They're organizations. Notice so-called religions that are usually headed by people of the dominant society always have like a council board or chairman board, or it's always like a board. Like, okay, Jehovah's Witnesses, they have, I don't know how to really articulate it, but there's always like this, they run it like a corporation all the time. their religious outfits and their corporations are all run on the same template, like Scientology and, you know, the Mormon Church and Jehovah's Witness, and all of this is all a business model, how they run it. So it's very little God, more business. And so, you know, it doesn't surprise me that they would have a large genealogical database, you know, because they don't really, there isn't a whole lot of spirituality in what they term their religions. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
I
I'm not
agree with that.
mistaken, a lot of what's it called, Scientologists, they send people to school to be lawyers and stuff, so that like anytime somebody says something disrespectful about that church, it's like, nope.
Yeah, because the traditional way of learning, well, the priest did count money, they take care of your business, and the priest did educate. So that's the traditional role of the church. Is basically to do that, take care of the public, educate them, and take care of them. So basically, even back in Egypt, the reason that you store grain in the temples is that was like your one is your welfare system, and two, it's storaging for famine. So they managed that. So if the people were hungry, they went to the temple to get something to eat. If they needed work, the priest created um, work projects, building churches, building temples, building bridges, whatever. It's actually organized. The church is actually there to organize people. So that's the traditional role. It changed when it came here because you had that. Guess what? The separation of church and state. The state took over most of the functions of the church.
Yeah.
I could never get them to answer any questions, the Mormons, because sometimes they would corner me on the, I do mean corner me, on the train. And I'm thinking it's something simple, because even though the two guys are together, they'll sit separately, and only one will say something. Then I find out it was a trick. So, boy. I said, darn. Now, when I ask a question, oh, we can come to your house. No. Well, would you like to go? No. I said, well, I just want to know what is it that you want to talk about? Oh, well, we can talk about anything. Here, take my information. That's okay. And I do find it's interesting that there's so many different religions. That's something where you can just kind of go down a rabbit hole with. There's so many.
Yeah, they are. But the thing is, you have to look at the root and what they're based on. So even though the Mormons, they're still Christian, even though they don't call themselves Christian.
I guess they would be considered like what, Protestant or something? Because isn't it like
if
Catholics versus everybody else?
If there's Jesus Christ anywhere in your literature, you're a Christian. You're a follower of Christ.
Yeah.
So you have a root, and those are all what do you call it? What church would call them? Solar religions. Which is because Judaism is not a solar religion, even though we like to think it is. It's actually a lunar religion, because it's actually the Jewish faith actually preceded all the others. Because the Jewish religion is actually based on the moon and not the sun. All the other religions after that, Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, that kind of stuff, was all based on sun.
Oh, okay.
Actually, we go by lunar calendar.
Okay.
You can be by lunar calendar, but the thing is, the thing is, what you're based on is came after that, because the Jewish religion actually goes all the way back to Menphite theology. So your Confucianism, not Confucianism. What I'm saying is the a lot of your Asian religions are actually based on the moon, because they preceded that. In fact, if you look at the layout of the hidden city in China, it's actually one is it's based on the moon. Two, it's based on the pole star, which is which they call their dragon religion, because it's based on the North Star Drago. So everything, so all their religious symbols are based on one, which is the zodiac, and then based on the dragon religion. So that's where it kind of filters down from. Yeah, you look at their symbols.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. We usually have to pick up the book and the Church Words book and show you the progression, because that's one hidden book that nobody talks about. Show that to a pastor, he'll freak out. Nobody wants to talk about that one, because he follows the symbols, and you can pretty much tell the symbols when it happened, when the religion was actually created. Like we were talking about it on the men's channel about that, about the Jewish religion, and because the division of when the symbols changed supposedly for the Jewish folks is when Moses came down and gave them the new commandments, and guess what? They were making a golden calf, which is basically the symbol of the offspring of Hathor. But basically all your, even the Christians still use a lunar calendar as far as their religious their religious dates. Like Easter is what is it? Easter is, it's supposed to be right after Passover. Passover is the first full moon after the spring equinox, and then you have the Passover, and right a week later you'll have Easter. So it's still there, like Christmas that we practice is that's the one solar date that we have, which is Christmas, which is it's supposed to be, which is weird. We celebrate the rebirth of Christ, because the rebirth of the sun, because the sun hits its lowest point on the 21st. And then it starts, and then 2 days later, 2 or 3 days later, it's supposed to have the rebirth start to rise and start to ascend again.
Oh, wow.
So that's the rebirth of the sun, and we right around the 24th, 25th of December.
Can't recall hearing that before. That's interesting.
It's one of those books that is which book do I decide to actually go through? One, black folks don't really read. Two, you said, okay, which one do you give them? In which group do you give what book? You know, do you give them politics? Do you give them more about biology? Do you give them more about anthropology? You know, which one do you choose? Is it something specific to black people that will help them? Or do you choose something, you know, because there's so many, it's just, you know, which one is more important? Because there's a lot of misinformation about that black folks have. We're so screwed up. We need a lot of help. One book will not do it. But I
Yeah.
might that have half of it scanned. I'll think about it.
Yeah, eventually.
It's just a matter of time. Actually sitting down and actually figuring it out. I'm going to sit down and dedicate time to actually do it. Because the thing that's the stuff people look at least and need the most. It's funny. Stuff they need the most, they look at least. And things they need the least, they look at most.
Yeah.
And first thing people say, well, I never heard that before. Yeah, I know you haven't, because when I first learned it, I hadn't heard about it, because nobody teaches it.
Wow.
Like most people don't know that Shango, Thor, and Vulcan are all the same people.
You said, I know you didn't say Django, did you?
No, Shango.
Oh, Shango.
Yeah, Shango, the double axe. Which was developed from the ancient cross sticks, which which designated the tribal chief. So it got formed into. If you actually look at the old double axe that Shango carries, is actually the cross sticks that the chief carries.
Okay.
And he had dual nature, and plus he was the god of not only the god of thunder, but he was also the god of the volcano. So when he went up north, Thor was the god of thunder, and Vulcan became the god of the volcano, which is basically Shango all in one. If you put them together.
Has anyone counted how many gods there are?
Is it possible to count how many gods? I'm sure there has.
That's what I'm wondering.
You go to India, you're gonna have just tons of them by themselves. You go to India, they got gods for everything. If you count the Roman gods and their demigods, you're talking about hundreds.
Yeah.
Wow.
I do find those monotheistic. No, polytheistic religions interesting. They got some funny gods. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, they were all based on something. They're based on a certain energy.
Like, I remember reading the Epic of Gilgamesh in high school, and I don't know, like the reason why those gods wanted to send in the flood, it made me laugh the whole time. They just seemed very I don't know, emotional and kind of just like whatever, you know.
Yeah, they call it transmogrifying deities. In other words, giving your gods human qualities. Which is why the Egyptians never they always gave their deities animal heads, so you wouldn't mistake it for a human being. Which eventually changed to make the deities human, which the Egyptians thought was a sin. In fact, it reminds me of a video I have to do because I was looking at what was it? I was looking at the comic book for Thanos, and they were showing the what do they call that guy? The over guy. What did they call him? The living tribunal. And I started looking at the original living tribunal. I said, "Oh, this is Ptah and the Noon and Atum." The male, the undifferentiated universe, the separation of male and female, and then the offspring, which became the physical universe. I said, I got to use this. I said I promised the artist I was actually going to do that and show the parallel. So the thing is, it's still there. The symbols are still there. They still use it. They even use it in physics. In fact, I have one video I actually showed it where subnuclear particles, your quarks, were actually based on 20,000-year-old Memphite theology, and your God particle was a tune, and is 7 other helpers, which is your positive and negative quarks. Like your positive quarks, I think, your positive quarks are male, and your negative ones are female. So your pluses and minuses.
Mm.
The white boys, they stole it, but they hated it. like Cerulin was telling me, Amiri's taking your talking points. I said, yeah, I know. I know. Story of my life. I said, if heads of states can steal it, I'm sure he'll steal too. It's just too juicy.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe he still listens to you after that hangout from a couple months ago, because he seems so adamant and just being contrary.
I like people like that because they try to prove you wrong, and if they prove you wrong, that means they got to read, and you read long enough, you're going to find out, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. Maybe he's not wrong. I still don't agree with him, but he says a lot of stuff that I agree with.
And then he'll come back.
No, they don't come back, but they keep listening. I got a lot of people, white and black, that don't like me. But the thing is that you can't hear a lot of this stuff. You can't hear anyplace else. You won't hear it anyplace else.
Yeah.
Because the way I look, when I was really into the esoteric religion, right? You hear from white people and make it sound so mysterious, okay, that you really can't grasp it. It's all kind of, mysterious and it's wrapped in some kind of mystery. And my teacher, when I asked him what a chakra was, he told me about I have been trying to figure out what a chakra was for 5 years. He told me in 2 minutes. I said, oh, these motherfuckers. I said, these motherfuckers. They could have just said that, but if they say it, they can't sell it because it's too simple. So
he'll be back.
They still got 3rd-degree burns. They're lucky. Cerulean told me to leave them alone.
He'll be back. Trust me.
Yeah, but so that's how I teach. When I teach something, I don't like making it mysterious because my teacher didn't. I like it to make it simple and apply it to everyday life so that you can use it. Because if I make it mysterious, I can make it mysterious and make it sound otherworldly and say, oh, that sounds interesting. But the thing is, you can't apply it because it's not grounded in anything. So he taught me he told me you have to ground it in everyday life. So if we talk about, say, something like the animus or the anima, which is a very esoteric concept, how do you ground it so people can actually use it? How do you explain it so that somebody can take what you learn and apply it to their life without, studying for 5 years to find out the ins and outs of what an animus is? You apply it to something that they can use. So I apply it. I simply tell you exactly what it is. It's an undeveloped masculine part of your brain that you have to develop, and tell you exactly how to develop. I said you have to like they said, you have to treat it like a man. So in other words, how do you feed your animus? You treat it like a little boy, and you actually raise it, and you go through the same exercises just like you're raising a little boy, so you can get that male side. Same thing for the men. How do you develop your anima? Okay, the easiest way to develop for man to develop his animus is not to give birth, but to raise a child. Because raising a child, you have to You have to develop some kind of female quality. Otherwise, you're going to have a fucked up kid, because you have to be able to figure out its emotions and its patterns and its nonverbal language to actually figure that kid out. And you have to have a softer side. You have to have a more of an emotional side to give that kid emotional support. So the easy way for a man to develop his anima is to do what? Raise a child, because that is the purview of the feminine. The feminine is there to do what? Have and raise offspring. So you can't have you can't have a child, but you can raise a child and get a similar experience. Not exactly the same, because it's not the same, but a similar experience.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you raise a daughter.
Okay.
Want to learn? If you really want to learn about women, raise a daughter. Same thing for a woman. Most women that really understand men, they have sons, because they literally had to raise they seen a man grow from a seed all the way up to a man, so they know exactly what stages that man went through. So they have a better understanding of what men go through, because when he turns 12 and all of a sudden he gets interested in girls, what's happened to him? Okay, wait a minute. He's taking a shower, he's combing his hair, he's practicing his lines in the mirror. What's going on?
What's her name?
What's her name? My mother could not figure that out with my little brother. So why is he failing these two classes? I said, well, how do you know he's failing? I said, look at his report card. So I looked at the grade, and I went to the attendance, because they give the attendance to the classes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, now you miss 20 times in these two classes, but you only missed 2 times in the rest of your classes. I looked at him and said, who is she?
Say her name. Say her name.
What's your name, and why these 2 classes? He said because homeroom is 3rd period. So if you're gonna do anything, you got to do it before 3rd period. Otherwise, you get a letter, or you get a call home. Mm-hmm. And the only way a dude's gonna actually skip and miss school like that, and skip and miss school for those 2 classes, if there's a girl involved. Who is she?
Busted.
He was. His eyes got big. How did you know? I was a little boy too. Okay.
So I was one of those people.
I was one of those people. I remember her name. Mm-hmm. Big old boobs she had.
It's been a big buzz about the Cat Williams story. The Cat Williams story, Kevin Hart.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to state that what he said was, his opinion, which I found to be pretty true. But how it was handled with the other party was very tacky. That was unnecessary. She got in her feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard her tell the story about she thought it was going to be edited out, and she got upset with that. It circulating YouTube. Everyone's talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And now she wants to handle it with her hubby. It was pretty tacky and very unnecessary with the emotion part. Take your L and go sit down. It'll eventually die down. Learn some, better jokes and move on.
She just made it worse.
Yeah.
If you're a comedian and you got bested by a better comedian, okay, that happens. Okay, people say, okay, he clowns you, and they'll move on. But if you pull a gun out on a comedian for telling jokes, it makes it worse.
Yeah.
And you're gonna jeopardize your job.
That's the thing. She started it, so you know.
Yeah.
If she didn't want the heat, she should have been nicer to him, I think. Although I don't know how you're a comedian and you're not creative enough to say anything back, because it seemed like all she wanted to talk about was like his perm or something. You know what I mean?
The personal attack. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. What you look like, what you're wearing, your hair.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. The typical stuff. Okay, you've been to your reputation.
Yeah. And then when he shot back and talked about her hair, it was like a no.
No, the part that was funny to me was him talking about that jury and that anybody could get it at a sit go.
Oh, that was
That's
hilarious.
had me dead.
It was
Oh,
hilarious.
that was so That's when she really got mad.
Yeah,
Because bitch, that jury people bitch.
Mm-hmm. 2 packs of Newports.
Right.
$7.
You could get it back to Newports. I mean, oh my God. She was looking tacky. That's when she got extra mad when he said that. Whatever. You started it. But you finished it.
And she kept going because the thing is, she wanted to have the last word. In other words, you should have cut it off when I got my last word.
That didn't work.
Because you thought he
But
was
getting the husband.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Getting the husband part, that wasn't not only tacky, that was dangerous. Because that's the type of behavior that get a lot of black men killed.
Mm-hmm.
You start some shit, and then when you don't want to handle it or you feel like you can't handle it anymore, you call somebody to come handle a guy that you started the shit with. You was a willing participant in this.
Mm-hmm.
So just take your L, and that's the ultimate not wanting to take a L, but it's not even that bad. Just deal with it. And then internet stuff die down in a couple of days anyway.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, she didn't realize, what if I'm sure they talked to her. What if he caught him? As big as this dude is, the dude is 370 pounds. Cat Williams is $130. Gun or no gun, what if he caught Cat Williams?
Mm-hmm.
And he beat him up, like put him in the hospital, even, God forbid, killed this dude, because he could have easily broke Cat Williams in two.
And all over a conversation. Even though it was jokes, it still was words. It was conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And, Cat could have decided to stand there and insult him. And of course, that man wasn't going to stand there and take that. He's going to try to hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was just, it was a bunch of nonsense. It was unnecessary. The fact that he even moved that way,
She could have handled Cat Williams by herself, as little as he is. And these dude's damn near 50 years old. And, after being on drugs and whatnot, his body is, he's not able to fight back like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I looked at the size of this dude. I said, you actually gonna stick this big old dude on a little bitty dude and think that's okay? Because you couldn't win the you couldn't win the dozens.
Yeah. The emotions or something else. There's no logic behind that. I'm mad. You be mad with me.
But that's what I mean by chaos magic when I talk about women that don't have any emotional control.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by that. Like, that chaos magic is destructive. There's no focus to any of that emotion. It's like it's wild and it's just all over the place, and it can hurt people seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're a comedian. There's no way that you have thin skin. How do you become, especially a black comedian? How do you even become a comedian with thin skin? You constantly, you should have been honing your comedic skills on a roast.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the problem? Okay, he roasted you. And he actually warned her before. He was like, I'm the wrong one to do this with. And he is. If you've ever heard Cat Williams say anything, why would you get into a roasting session with him? You're going to get your feelings hurt, which is so it just didn't make any sense. It was nonsense.
I'm just curious about, okay, if this was just on the street and okay, some stuff kind of jumped off, but this is your job. You're interviewing the man. You asked the man, you begged the man to come in and sit for an interview. He did. Okay. He gave us, you asked him questions, he answered them. If you didn't want the opinions he was going to give, you shouldn't have asked them, you know. And and when he started talking about say like Tiffany Haddish or Kevin Hart or whatever, it wasn't like you guys stopped it. You kept asking him questions. You actually wanted him to say this stuff. Then you get mad. And then you start joking. And then you keep it going. Because I thought they were just, okay, it was all in good fun. She just lost that round, which was good entertainment. Like he said, it's just good entertainment. Regardless, it will make you famous. But then to try to attack the guy, at the club because you're upset because how it went down. Even if your husband was upset, she said, look, you know what? That's my job. It's good. Let it go. Just let it go. You stay home. But no, they were sitting up there waiting on him. Like he made a beeline, like he was looking for her. You're waiting on the dude.
And how old are these people? Now that I think about it, what are their ages? 30s, 40s, 50s?
At least 30s. What would you say, Kendra?
The way that old fat ass. Okay.
Watch it.
She had to be a good 46. I would be surprised if she was anything less than 46. Because Cats is like what, 48, 49?
Yeah, like 47.
If he's not 50.
Yeah, he's 47.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, too goddamn old. That's how old they are. Too old for that silly shit.
Everybody's saying 40s so far. 40s through 50.
Yeah, and then when she came back on, it's because management it wasn't to clear anything up. But she had to give an accounting for what she did because it looks bad on a radio station. She didn't come to that mea culpa just because she wanted to.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to end up dismissing her. I wonder.
It probably would look bad if they did. So they might not. If she makes it right. So I'm sure she sent some kind of text to him to let him know it was cool. So he actually stopped talking about it because he could have pressed it. Because there are like I said, there is a video of these three guys chasing Cat Williams with a gun in his hand. You can't say, well, I never pointed it at him. If somebody's chasing you, he's got his gun out. They call that brandishing. You don't have to point it.
True. And then the jokes about his belly. That's really going around. Like, I don't know. Did you see a gun? I couldn't see it for that belly.
No, but actually, there's the video where he was up near the supermarket, and they were chasing Cat Williams into the supermarket. Dude was holding the gun.
That is ridiculous. How can you even explain that? Well, see, what happened was, he made a joke, and see, my wife said, how are you going to explain that? That's just ridiculous. Then you'll want some mercy then.
And as he's going to prison, she's going to cry and send him a care package.
Right.
Which is what usually happens. It's how a lot of dope boys actually go to prison. when you ain't got no money and we need the babies need to eat and you need to do something, what am I gonna do? Well, if you need to go out and sell some dope if you have to. The dude goes out and does it, makes some money. He goes to prison, and guess who doesn't?
Yeah, she doesn't.
She doesn't. Seen that many a time.
Yeah.
He's in the house with the dope, okay? But as long as your mortgage is getting paid, and your rent's getting paid, and you got food on the table, and you got a couple of cars, it's all good.
Mm-mm-mm.
And if he gets out and nothing happens, he just goes to jail. When he gets out, you started doing it all over again. The only time it kind of changes is when that stuff becomes real. Like you feel your life is in jeopardy.
Mm.
I've heard that many a times. Well, what stopped you from dating bad boys? Well, I saw my boyfriend get shot in front of me. Or we
Yeah.
had guns pulled on us, or the house got raided.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, it's a lot of sad stories out there about men in the middle of something
Mm-hmm.
because of her mouth. Well, you this, you that. He should
Yeah,
have said that. I don't like that.
you in Chicago. In fact, there was I think on the Shy, the first episode,
Mhm.
there was um this kid, right at one of the beginning scenes, the kid got one of these kids got killed, right? So the boy on the bike actually doing what he shouldn't have done, which was stupid. He took his chain and his tennis shoes off of him, off his body.
Ah, okay.
And I said, I hope this dude don't flash this chain around the neighborhood, thinking that nobody's gonna know. And sure enough, the mother of I don't know if she was the dude's wife or what. Uh, the dude's wife said you need to find out who killed whoever the first boy was, right?
Mhm.
And he said, the husband says, well, the police think they know who did it. Well, we can't depend on the police to find out. You need to go out there and find out who did it. And so he saw the little boy with the chain on. And so he pulls the gun and jacks up the little boy. And the little boy's trying to tell him, he was already dead when I took the chain. He said, well, that's the chain that I gave my son. I said, oh boy, this is not going to end well. And sure enough, he didn't. It didn't.
Mhm.
Little boy got shot. But that's how things wind, things
Yeah.
happen, and then women get in the middle of it with their emotions and actually jack things up, actually put batteries in people's back.
Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Wow.
I was
I'm sure.
always so scared to send my husband off on something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I never, like he would always be getting mad. Like, why would you wait to tell me that? Why would
Mm-hmm.
you tell me that? And I'd be like, because it wasn't that serious. What do you mean it's not that serious? And I just never wanted to be one of them women that every time something happened, I'm going to get my husband. Like first of all, he's not an attack dog.
Mm-hmm.
And then number two, it's like I had to use my judgment. Like if it's not that serious, nobody's actually harming you or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like just don't even tell him about it. Like a lot of times I wouldn't even tell him that nothing happened at all. But if he happened to find out or somebody mentioned it and I didn't, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Now I gotta talk about why I didn't tell and why I didn't say nothing. And I'm like, because I know you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. Because you're gonna try to do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want you to. Let's leave it alone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it goes down wrong, everybody loses.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the worst part about it. Is she really wasn't thinking about the consequences of what would have happened if her husband really was to like sit up there and shoot him, or like say if Cat Williams had a security there or like goons or anything who outnumbered him, just her husband, then what happens if he gets seriously injured or ends up dead?
Yeah. Well, they find out he had, there was more than just one person. There was 3 people there.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, there were 3 guys. Her husband, I think, 2 of his brothers were actually chasing. Or her son and one of the dude's other brothers was at. There's 3 actually big dudes chasing little bitty old Cat Williams.
Wow. So it was a family affair.
I said, if you caught him, what were you gonna do if you caught him?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. That is crazy. I didn't even know the family affair going on. Family reunion. So you talk about my jewelry, and I'm big on the radio and all that stuff. And I held on to the anger, told my family, and we all decided to get together and go do something about it because I'm in my feelings. Oh, okay. That is just smart. Isn't that just smart?
Even the husband called a radio station. Talking about defending his wife, and he told him, the one thing he told, I think the part of the interview, he said, I don't appreciate your husband calling me about what went on the radio station.
Wow. That is really crazy.
But that's how people get. That's how I was telling Valdez. That's how people get. How dudes get dead all the time behind stuff like that, behind stupid stuff like that.
I see the teens and 20s, but what does he do? Is there anyone know what he does for a living?
I don't know.
Does he answer to anyone besides the wife?
Do you think he might be a homosexual?
I barely ever heard of the wife before this situation, let alone him.
Yeah, me neither.
Corey Holcomb said she's not well liked.
I can see why.
It's probably why he didn't want to come in the first place, because she has that reputation.
Let's see. Her name Wanda Smith.
And I think what was bad is that everybody was laughing at her on set.
Yeah, the jokes were funny.
If jokes were funny, yeah, that's what he said. He was falling out of his chair.
It was funny.
And she said, "Well, you were the adult. You should have stopped the kids from fighting." He was laughing. He said, "You're 2 comedians going at it."
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, tell the jokes. May the best man or woman win.
And he said, had you, I said, would you feel the same if you had won won the fight?
Exactly.
She got quiet.
I can't even find this dude's name. Everything just says Wanda Smith's husband.
Yeah, I forget his name. LaMarcus or something like that. I can't remember what his name.
Okay.
Lamorris or something like that. Yeah. Because he doesn't have the same. Evidently, she doesn't use his last name.
All right.
What do you mean by that, Char Willie?
This ain't looking good. She owns him. She owns him.
Yeah, you've heard. Yeah, basically, you've heard this before, huh?
Oh yeah. He had a friend who she wasn't changing her name. She knew she should have never married him, because they had been living together like 15 years. But she wanted to be married, and then finally she went on and changed the last name. But it didn't matter because they about to get divorced at that time.
She just wanted to be married, at least one. Yeah. Once she got what she wanted, then it's time to go.
Wow.
I'm gonna make him marry me.
Mm-hmm.
And then find out it's not really what you wanted. I see that a lot though. A chick will go with a dude for 10, 15 years and she'll finally get married, finally force him to marry her. And then 2 years later she's getting divorced.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be that long. You're right. I don't know what that's all about.
Because she got what she wanted. That's what she was waiting on. When she got it, she was happy. And when she was happy, okay, I really don't want to be with him anymore because I got what I wanted.
Okay.
But did you hear I guess Cat William and Tiffany Haddish's response to the whole situation with Cat Williams?
I heard parts of it. I heard a little bit of it.
Yeah, I heard parts too, but I will say Kevin Hart, he did he started off nice with his live feed, whatever that was, Facebook, I'm not for certain, with all the positivity, and then he did flip it on that radio station.
Oh yeah. You go in the Breakfast Club, you turn it up.
Yeah, he turned it up all right. But I don't really know all the people, but I didn't know much about Tiffany, but I did notice that she wasn't that fun. The few times I've seen her, it just didn't stand out. So I pretty much can side that she's not a funny comedian. Now, as far as the hard work she may do, that's good. I mean, that's what you have to do. It doesn't still mean that you're funny and very talented.
But what is she's funny enough, and like Corey Holcomb says, she's cute. So she's probably better on film than she is on stand up.
Yeah, I can believe that. From a little bit that I saw, yeah, I can believe that.
I don't know. I think she's better when she's more calm, but like when she's all turned up and stuff, she's just loud. Like, I don't know. I just don't like the whole narrative that they're saying Cat Williams is somehow salty. The thing is with him, he's been touring this whole time and he sells out everywhere he goes. So it's not like he's not making any money, but they're trying to make it seem like he's just some broke loser who fell off or something. Like he might not be getting as many movies as he used to get, but you know, he's still making money as a comic. So that would be like my only thing about I guess Kevin's whole spiel about Cat Williams on the Breakfast Club.
I mean, yeah, they're both telling the truth. I mean, the reason that he didn't get the big shot is because he was on drugs. So that is true, and I don't have no problem with it because if you can dish it, you can take it. So Cat Williams can take it.
Yeah, I'm sure he can.
And basically, but you know how comics are. They have to. It's just like rappers. They got to retaliate. Somebody disses you, got to diss them back. Because everybody's gonna be saying, "Man, did you make a response? He dissed you. You gonna make a response?" Or they had to make a response.
Oh my God. like the M&M and all that stuff. Okay.
Yeah, well, it sells tickets. Tiffany Haddish, she's got a small window to make her money because one, she's not that funny, and two, she's not that good of an actress. But she's hot, so you got to make your money. I'm not mad at her.
Yeah.
That's how you have to do it. All
you got to
right.
do it. You keep milking the cow till there's no more milk, and hopefully you got enough milk stored up. You can actually ride off into the sunset.
Mm-hmm.
I think she knows it too because you don't see her spending a lot of money.
She sit up there and talk about Groupon all the time.
Oh yeah, because that's one of her advertisers.
Mm-hmm. But she was talking about that before she ever got the advertisement.
Oh really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame her.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is that. I tell men that's a shit test. Take a woman out the first time, pull out a Groupon.
Nothing wrong with that.
If she bucks, she's not the one for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I told him he don't pull out a Groupon on the first date. I did it for a reason.
Groupon should be your friend.
Should be
Anyway.
Yeah, what do you care? I tell them, well, it doesn't look good on the first. I said, what do you care? So if it's a nice restaurant, you have a good meal, how I pay for it is not your concern, as long as you don't have to reach in your pocket.
Who's looking? That's why I want to know who's looking.
Yeah, well,
good look for who?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not for you. If she bucks, even if she doesn't like it, if she bucks, she's not for you.
Yeah.
And you cross her off your list, and you only use the Groupon to do it. That's why I leave the toilet seat up. In her house.
In her house.
You see what she'll say. Yeah.
Oh no.
You left the toilet seat up. Mm-hmm.
Normally do. They normally do. Yeah, leave all the little things alone. You leave it up, you put it down.
You put it down. If she puts it down, she can grit her teeth. She can be kind of feel salty, but if she puts it down, doesn't say nothing, okay. She's willing to put up with your.
I never got that. If it's up, just put it down. Why are you in the bathroom gonna sit your ass down on the toilet you're not looking at anyway? I look at everything I'm about to sit on. I survey the whole land.
Yeah, because
right when I walk into the bathroom, I survey the land.
Survey the land, yeah.
Exactly.
Because you have to adapt to being with a man, just like he has to adapt to being with you. And that's the give and take. If you're not willing to a small thing like a toilet seat, it's small, but we'd be surprised how many women actually get upset. So basically, I leave it up on purpose.
I think they get upset because they don't look and they be in the freaking water.
Yeah, okay, it happens. You'll look the next time.
I know.
But the thing is that do you like the dude enough to put up with his bullshit? Because the dude's gonna come with some bullshit. So do you like him enough to put up with his bullshit? If you start cussing about a toilet seat, I will say tell the dude that okay, she doesn't like you enough. So she has failed that shit test.
Yeah. Like I'm with Kendra. I always look before I sit because some people are just, I don't know, nasty, and they leave stuff. So you want to look before you just, and that's what any toilet.
The nasty is if he doesn't lift the toilet seat up.
Right.
Now, if he doesn't lift the toilet seat up, that's an issue. Okay, if you pee as a dude and you didn't lift that toilet seat, that's an issue. That's the first thing that you teach a little boy. Because when you pee,
Mhm.
is you do what? Lift the toilet seat. Even if you don't let it down, you lift the toilet seat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't lift the toilet seat, he hasn't had no home training. Try sitting on the toilet seat that's wet and see how you feel.
Right.
If you don't lift nothing and I walk in my bathroom and smell the fragrance of piss, me and you
Mm-hmm.
gonna
That's when you
have
get
a
upset.
problem.
Yeah, that's when you get upset.
Don't go in my bathroom and you pee anywhere else other than the dead center of that damn toilet. What's wrong
Ain't
with
sent a
you?
mask.
You ain't got. I want to know what's wrong with you. You got a medical problem? Yeah.
Well, you
Mhm.
know, with this situation, it was my youngest brother,
Hmm.
so he wasn't quite potty trained yet.
Oh,
So
well,
yeah.
he's a little. Oh, he's a baby. That's different.
Hmm.
The first thing I taught my son. First thing I taught my grandsons: lift the toilet seat.
Hmm.
Even my oldest grandson, when he didn't want to use the potty. Okay, we got a little stool for him. Put it in front of the toilet, lift the toilet seat, pee, flush. Do those two things. If you do those two things, they can forgive you the third, which is putting the toilet seat down.
Right.
Yeah, I just don't want no filthy shit because I'm telling. Listen, even the
That-
baseboards in my bathroom is clean, so I don't need no mess. When
mm,
you go in, you're grown or not. When you
mm,
go in, don't do nothing in my bathroom you wouldn't do in yours. Matter of fact, do mine better than what you would do in mine.
mm-hmm.
I want
Right.
to go
Makes you.
in there after you come out of there
Mhm.
because I guarantee you, if I
Mm,
use the bathroom at your house, you wouldn't even known I was in there.
mm,
If
Hmm.
I got to reach under your thing and get the Lysol and clean it myself, you're not gonna know.
Right. Yeah, just self-respect. Because like washrooms at a lot of jobs where it's a lot of women,
Oh,
I'm
why
just
is that?
amazed
Why
at
is
what's
that?
going on.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Ooh, I'm like, Lord have mercy.
Because I used to hear the janitors at work say that the women's bathroom is 10 times worse than the men's bathroom. And one time I actually walked into the women's bathroom and said, I see what they're talking about.
I don't even
I
know
don't
why.
understand it at all. I don't understand it.
I don't understand why them bitches is so nasty. Public bathrooms, women bathrooms, and damn, what do you call them? Rest stop. I just be
Hmm.
looking at them bitches like, what is your what? I hate to see the condition of your underwear
Mm.
because how did
Mm.
you get in this bathroom and make all this damn mess?
Hmm.
What is wrong with you? And then
Mhm.
I did walk out of the bathroom and don't wash their hands. I pity the man that get down and dirty with you because he really is getting down and dirty if he's
Mm.
down with you because you are
Yeah.
filthy. I mean, I clean everything. I can't help it. I clean my bathroom every time I use it.
Mm.
Every time I use the bathroom, I Lysol things, and you can call it OCD if you want to, but I bet you anything it's disinfected when you get in there. I bet you that.
It's good old. That's just good old fashioned home training. Okay. Was your mother a stickler about her bathroom?
We had to clean the house from top to bottom. You
Okay.
go to bed with the dishes in that sink if you want to. You can
Okay.
come out of the bathroom and don't clean the tub,
Mm.
clean the sink, clean the toilet. You can come
Hmm.
out of the basket if you want to. You'll never do it again.
Right. Mhm. Do not want to wake up to no butt whooping. Mm-mm.
Ooh, ain't that the worst?
That's the worst thing. And you feel them covers pull back and you kind of get a breeze
Yep. And
and
you
your
know it's
brain
coming.
be telling you, get
Duck.
up, it's bush,
Duck.
in middle
Quick.
of a and she whack you one time and you can't even scream. You
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you can't even move after on the
Mm-mm.
first couple.
No, you can't move.
Yeah, because you still sleep. You still in that brain still sleep. So she can get 3 or 4 whacks before you can even move.
Okay.
Yeah, that is not
Yeah.
a comfortable sight, boy.
And even if the woman go in the washroom and it's not, she's not leaving a mess, some of them really smell awful. And
Why is that though? It's just like I
you
don't get it.
just went to urinate and you left an odor. I don't get that one at all.
Ooh, what's going on in your bladder?
Yeah.
Mm.
Drink
Sounds
some
like an
water.
infection.
Yeah, you need to drink some water. Because your piss is the color. Then I don't know what color it is. Because, listen, your urine is
It's supposed to
it's
be the
supposed to
color of
be
water, isn't it?
basically, I mean, with maybe a little tint in it. But if you got that strong, see, that's only for the morning, that real strong, it done stored up all night. But during
Yeah.
all throughout the day, that's supposed to be a light tint to that and not a smell. It's not supposed to just straight up stink when
Right.
you urinate. That's crazy. Ew.
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
Mm-hmm. And it's
Ew.
so sad that so I have this thing for odors because I love fragrance. So I'm just really intuitive when it comes to fragrance or odor. So if there's a person that has an odor, I just automatically relate that person with that odor. So I'm like, oh, Lisa, she was in the washroom.
Wait, shit.
Oh, Janae, she was. I can't help it. I just know. I'm not trying to. My brain just say, there's Janae. Okay, that was her.
I hope they have a signature scent and it's not just their body odor.
Some have that too, but yeah. That's
Yeah,
messed up.
yeah, it's like I did because it's intuitively it doesn't make sense. If there's supposed to be a messed up bathroom, it's supposed to be the guys, but all the janitors just said no, it's women's.
Mm-hmm. It's really the truth. And you can't blame it on being in a hurry. You can't blame it on anything. You really can't. It's just you don't care. And a lot of times I be wondering about their home because even like with these weaves and stuff, they be shedding. And they see all that hair in that sink. They don't care. They just walk out and leave it, which makes me wonder, when did you wash your hands?
Because they didn't. Because they some little pissy ass broads. There's no way. I just don't understand not being clean. Just from your hygiene to your home, you can drop into my house at 3 a.m. and catch a clean house. It just is what it is. The hygiene got to be immaculate. There's no way, because you smell you first before anybody else can smell you. I smell me first. So that way, nobody else can ever smell me. And then I'm taking a shower every day. And if it's hot, it's 2-3 times a day. And so I don't understand, you're musty, your feet, your breath. I don't understand that. What's wrong with you? We live in, unless you homeless or you some kind of transient where you don't really have access to this stuff on a regular basis. If there is hot water, soap, and a towel anywhere in your vicinity over a 24-hour period, I don't understand why you stink.
And if do something about it, or like with me, one time I went to, I had an appointment with a chiropractor, and it was 90 some degrees. I had been gone since whatever. And for whatever reason, my right arm, sometimes, something be going on there. And I'm like, I'm like, oh Lord, I said, it's the right arm. So when I went, I'm like, excuse me, you guys want to, have me to do an examination, but my right arm, it's musty. So do you want to, postpone this, or what do you want to do? You can forgive me. It's up to you. And they're like, okay, no problem. But I knew there was an odor.
Mm-hmm.
And I, said, pardon me, it's something I couldn't help. And we went on and did the examination. But you're right, you smell yourself first. At least you should. You're not used to smelling. Yeah, some people, that's a way of life for them.
Yeah, I don't get it. I ain't nowhere scared to take my shoes off. You know what I'm saying? It just smell like corn chips and vinegar. I don't get it. I would be so embarrassed. I would just crawl under the nearest rock and just die if somebody told me at 40 years old that you must. Somebody got to tell you must.
I'll pull you to the side. Because I've actually had to tell supervisors to talk to a coworker about it. Because it wasn't one time. It wasn't just a summer. One time. No, this was several times. I'm like, okay, there's a problem. Let me pull the supervisor to the side and let them know. Because they would not have, accepted it from me. And I would have been gentle, not trying to be funny. But I know the person would not accept it from me. So I let the supervisor know. And let the supervisor handle it. And he like, what? BO? I said, yes. Body odor. It's like, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's that's something else.
Yeah, at least start clean. You can't help it after that, but at least start that way.
Mm-hmm. But that way of life smelling like that, somebody should pull you to the side.
What, like 10 minutes in the shower? If
I don't know.
If you really want to rush, 5.
Some people go in the shower and don't be using soap and all that. They just stand in the water.
Okay, so
now that I don't think, the other people that don't want to use deodorant and they tell me you gotta just use the little stone or the little whatever the hell they be trying to use when they want to be, health conscious or whatever the hell. You better go to Walmart or Target or the damn dollar store somewhere and get you some degree or get something. I don't care. I want it, whatever you put on the arms, I want Unilever to have manufactured it. How about that? I don't want you going to the health food store getting it.
Well, basic, take a shower, soap, and basic baking soda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baking soda will help.
If you don't want to use deodorant, use baking soda. Baking soda.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
With your musty ass. Somebody can smell that shit. I took a shower today. I can't tell. You need
I think it was Cameron Diaz. She said that people who use deodorant stink.
Oh, that's because her musty ass stink.
Does that work?
That was an odd thing to say, but okay.
She's an interesting character.
Yeah, her, Gwyneth Paltrow.
And they said Matthew McConaughey funky as a goat.
Brad Pitt.
Funky as a Montana mule.
Okay.
Wow.
Little musty ass, all that money, you in an expensive suit and you musty. Get the hell out of here. You somebody make sense. Graph with your musty ass.
They white. Because they couldn't be black because they be talked about. Black women do not care.
Y'all ever heard of Naya Rivera from Glee?
I have not.
She's half black, half Puerto Rican, and she said, I think I get this from my black side of the family, but I only take a shower every 3 days. And
every 3 days?
And she was on The View saying that, and Goldberg and them was all like, use a goddamn lie, because you already know how black people is. A black mother's not gonna let her child walk out the house without at least a shower or a bath or something.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
Every
she
day.
was saying she didn't take a shower every 3 days. But you know what? She married to a white dude, so that's probably where she got that from.
Mm. But it's not even hereditary. She says she got it. Like it's something.
Yeah. She said like her family taught her not to shower every 30 days. I think that's a lie.
You didn't get it from the black side.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, that's hereditary. Just do something different.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to keep that. Break the curse. You ain't got to do that. Trust me. Wow.
I don't think she wants to take a shower every day. She just used that as an excuse.
Yeah, that's what that is. She want to keep with a 3-day.
Take a cowboy bath, huh? Or a whole bath if you're a woman. Is what they call it.
Days. Okay. Just a fast or something. What? Yeah, some of that stuff that's said publicly is, I don't know. Maybe that's supposed to be for some controversy or something. I don't know. Hereditary. Okay.
It said somebody who said and working at a hotel said black people stay asking for bath towels. Yeah, because we use them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
One of the first things I ask for. I count them like, I need some more. I don't wait until I need them. I come in asking for them. I know how it's going to get busy later on. I got to wait. We're going to do this now.
I usually bring my own towels from home.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Only when they started weighing luggage is the only reason why I stopped carrying so much different stuff with me. But they have disposable ones now.
Yeah.
Sure do.
Disposable what? Towels?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
I think it's because I mostly travel by train or bus. So,
okay.
like when I'm going out of town, like I don't like planes, but I will ride a plane if I have to. But
okay.
yeah.
Would you got a fear of flying?
No, I don't know. I just don't like it.
Oh, okay.
You have to take a couple of shots before you actually take off?
Because I don't drink. So.
So what do? You carry the Bible and white knuckle it till you get to your destination?
Sure, I guess you could say that.
Or do you fall asleep?
Uh-huh.
Oh, you go to sleep. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not interested in the long bus rides.
No,
thank you.
We sound like my granny. Until she got too old to take the long bus ride, she would not get on a plane. She didn't get on a plane till she was like in her 70s.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. They got some interesting characters on the plane. I will say that.
Yeah, but you're only on with them for like 2 or 3 hours. If you're on the bus, it's like a couple of days.
It seems like it anyway, I'm sure.
Yeah, when was the last time Guatemala. I was gonna say, when was the last time I was on a bus? It was in Guatemala. They ain't been on a long bus ride in years.
Yeah.
Kind of reminded me when I was a little kid.
Yeah, Yeah, most of the parents, they gas the car up and let's go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do that. A long car ride.
I think maybe 4 hours, the longest I want to sit without moving.
Mm.
I think that's it. I need to get up, stretch, bend over, do something. But just sitting,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I can spell this dude's name.
No, I'm good. I mean, I can. Um, I say about 10 hours because I've been on like 10-hour flights.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I don't like
Yeah.
to get up.
Hmm. Yeah, I said when I go back to Hawaii, it has to be a flight because it's taking too long on the ship to get there. I said, I can't do this.
What are you with? If you're on a ship, then that's different
Oh, yeah.
because the biggest thing about being on a ship is that okay, that's your destination. It's not you getting off. When you get to port, you're just getting off for just look around a little bit and get back on the ship.
Hmm. We were at sea for 5 days, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, that was just too much time. I would have taken the 5 hour flight
Mm-hmm.
and got that over with, but you learn as you go along.
Yeah, but the whole thing about a cruise is to be on the cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're dying, eating and the entertainment and all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Mm.
I'll do it different next time.
So that
Yeah.
was too long to be on the boat, huh?
Well, it was okay. It's just that could have been doing something else, more destinations.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a couple of places I missed. I can't
Mm-hmm.
even tell you where I went to in Hawaii. There's a couple of islands, but I could have hit some more islands. But because of that 5 days at sea, that
Mm-hmm.
was the issue.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said, oh, okay, I got it now. Just do the plane ride. Yeah, it's long, but just go ahead and do that. So I
Mm-hmm.
think maybe 2.5 hours, 3 is the most I've ridden on the plane.
Mm. Oh well,
But
you go. Yeah, there's a long jump between Hawaii and the mainland. So if
mm,
you're in Chicago, if you take it direct from Chicago, you're gonna be in the air a while, like at least eight
yeah,
hours. At least 8 hours.
so I said I'll just go ahead and do that. And I've seen a couple of cruises you can do. Just go ahead, start at California, and
Mm.
just ride, or and take your plane back from Hawaii, or
Mm-hmm.
vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I said, I'm gonna get that flight out the way, just rest all day once I'm there, and then cruise on back to California. So I think I'm gonna do it that way.
Yeah, a lot of water between California and Hawaii. Let's put it that way.
Hmm.
Have you ever been on a plane? You leave California, you don't see land until you see that little bitty dot out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
That's because there's nothing but water between you and there.
Hmm. Yeah, that was my last cruise, and when did I go? Was it 2013?
Okay,
Yeah, I think it was 2013. Yeah.
that's a nice little cruise. It's not little, but it's like what 12 days or something like that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we went 13, I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
I
It's a
think I
long
was
time.
13.
It's a long time to be on the boat.
Hmm. Yeah.
You probably
Where
had
did you say
you,
you went?
I have no idea.
Mm.
Hilo was one of them.
okay,
But that's all I recall.
and also Ahu, which is the main island.
Is that OAUH?
Yeah, OAHU, Ahu. Yeah,
I think, but I don't recall.
yeah. Where Honolulu is, where the main city is.
No,
You didn't go to Honolulu?
no, and
Okay.
that's what I'm upset about.
Oh, okay.
hmm Celebrity just cheated me.
Well, most
Mm.
people have been to Honolulu, so they actually go to the other islands, which is
Okay.
Kauai and the big island where they had the volcano erupt, which is the big island, which is Hawaii.
I wanted to go to. A lot of people was telling me go to Alaska. I'm like, I already live in the cold. I'm not trying to go to Alaska. Wait till I get older, maybe I'll go. I'm like, I'm trying to have me some
Well,
fun and some sun.
go during the summer where you see the midnight sun. Where
Oh
the sun,
yeah, I read that's the best time to go.
hmm where you get
Mhm.
what is it, 22 hours of daylight.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Well,
I think
basically,
that would annoy me.
uh, why? Why would it annoy you?
I like the nighttime.
You're a cat for real, huh?
I guess.
Well, go to Alaska in the in the wintertime where you never see the sun for 30
Ooh,
days.
Oh,
no,
but then
thank
I
you.
don't like the cold.
Yeah. That's the downside. What was that horror picture, 30 Days of Night,
hmm
where the sun doesn't rise we don't see the sun for 30 days?
Yeah.
That sounds awful. Oh boy.
When you don't go outside. I guess you don't. Well, it's too cold to go outside anyway, so you're not
hmm
missing much. And be 22 hours of daylight. That'd be interesting just to see it. And from what the guys have been up there said, it never really gets dark. It's like it gets dusk, and then right
Oh,
after that dawn, so it never really gets completely dark.
oh, okay. I can do that. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I could do that one day.
hmm
You all right, cats?
Hmm?
You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Cool.
Everything gets settled.
Eh.
Okay, to be continued, huh?
hmm Yep. Trying to think what else we could talk about. It's kind of
Yeah.
a slow
Huh?
news week.
Well, yeah, it depends.
Yeah.
It depends. On the mail channel, it's never slow. There's always something.
Yeah.
So they find something.
What do you guys think about them trying to um, push contraceptives in Africa?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Haven't heard about that, but when you say push, do you mean um, at a certain age women have to have them, or?
Yeah, well, they're trying to get them to adopt it, do the same thing here, trying to get Planned Parenthood to be adopted on the continent
Oh,
to bring down their fertility rate.
oh,
So
really?
they want to what bring it down to what 14% like here.
Uh, they want to bring it down to they know they can't bring it down to because I think the fertility rate is 5, average of 5, and they want to bring it down to 3, which is basically cut it in half.
Hmm.
Hmm.
They know they can't bring it down to below 2 like it is in the Western countries.
Hmm.
Well,
Um, It's nice if it's an option, but what about, have they polled anyone, the women and I mean, is there any buzz? What's going on as far as what women are saying? Because they have control of taking it or not.
Um, not from the common women, from the women that are in leadership and stuff like that. You hear the buzz from them.
Hmm.
Well, I
Like they want to
know.
bring down teen pregnancy. They want to make the women, not make them, but encourage the women to actually have children later in life, like they do here.
Yeah.
Hmm. I don't know how they'd be able to change that culture if that's not something they're used to. Um, hmm. Where's the money coming from as far as the contraceptives? Are they going to pay
Oh,
for
oh,
them or?
well, the Bill Gates will pay for it.
Oh wow, it's a Bill
Hmm.
Gates
Oh yeah,
project.
yeah, it's Bill Gates project. Yeah, and I'm
Yeah,
sure
y'all were
the people.
talking about that last week, huh?
Yeah, we were talking about something similar, but and then the report came out. Well, I think it's called the Goalkeepers Report that they
Mm.
do every year, and they must really be pushing it this year. But I kind of figured they would
Hmm.
because Soros just talked about the demographics and how your possession going to lose its identity in about 20 or 30 years because they're going to be overwhelmed by the African continent. So I figured that there's going to be a push to get women to have less children.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's the case, I say no. If that's the case, we got funded by, yeah.
Yeah, that's because I used to wonder how come they push women's education so much. I could never figure that out. I said, well, wouldn't you just educate boys and girls the same? Why you
Mm-hmm.
push female education so much? You push female education so much because the more educated a woman is, the less children she has.
Mm.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, I say no go for that one. Spend that money on something else that somebody wants,
Hmm.
that someone is asking for, like what? Let's see. Well, give the economy a boost. Pick some people pay their taxes, or some
Hmm.
money to um, bring down the taxes. Anything, bring down the deficit. I don't care.
Well, yeah, well, money to actually help them grow more food.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because the more people on the continent, the more food they need for themselves, and the less they can actually export to other people.
Yeah, some real food.
Yeah,
Some fake stuff we can been getting.
yeah, they can't afford preservatives, so it's all pure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
spend the money with that. Donate that. Leave people kitty cats alone, man. If that's the case. Hmm.
That's
Yeah, they want to encourage
hilarious.
more, more condoms, more pills, more abortions. So they're trying to sell it to the women over there.
Yeah.
They're trying to convince white women to do the exact opposite.
Wow, look at that agenda.
Oh yeah, well yeah, you know what it is.
It's so funny. Like, people for the past couple weeks have been talking about those billboards, and I think Atlanta that had the whole abortion thing where they were promoting abortion.
Oh yeah.
And there's a street I drive past all the time called Elysian Fields.
Hmm.
They have a a billboard that is anti-abortion, and
Hmm.
it talks about how many black fetuses get aborted every year due to
Hmm.
abortion and stuff, and it actually kind of makes you sick. But I'm glad people are seeing that and are realizing like how messed up I guess the whole concept of it is, because like the whole history of abortion is it's kind of messed up. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I'm glad that it's kind of like starting to get some pushback because so many people just want to make it like boil it down to, oh well, it's the woman's choice.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know, I've never been pregnant, so I can't really be 100% judgmental, but I'm just like, but the child also has a potential father, and you
Mhm.
should probably like talk to him and get your families together and see what y'all can do first before you just sit up there and be like, well, screw this child, I'm not having it, or whatever.
Mhm.
Like, that's like my whole thought process on it. But I could be wrong, but that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, they what they should do is give the males the option, but if they do that, the white fertility rate will actually tank and go into the toilet.
Oh,
Mm.
well, I don't care about them.
Well, if you give men the contraceptives, that basically kills the whole argument. Yeah, but the thing that's why they won't though. Because trust and believe, the black dudes be lined up around the block.
Oh Lord.
Trying to get whatever procedure is so they can't get nobody pregnant.
Mhm.
Be lined up around the block. And it's temporary too.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
I ain't gotta use no condom.
Say- They said they straight.
Yeah, they straight. Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
If abortion is murder, so is male ejaculation because sperm can smell? Okay, I don't
who
even
said
know.
something from the chat?
Yeah. It
Yeah. Why did
distracted me.
why did they come here with Jesus?
It can smell.
Sperm can smell. Right. And sperm has noses. That sounds like a Mary Brown, where men are the first nurturers.
Right.
So,
Oh, okay, I get it. I thought they meant like it had a smell, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But yeah.
Mm.
talk about pseudoscience.
Say, look it up. Okay.
Look it up.
Sperm can smell. Right. Well, they sniff out the egg.
Mhm.
Where the egg at? Where's that?
Yeah, they will find. Well, they'll send out enough of them. You can't. They won't miss it. you, you send out 1,000,000 sperm. One of them gonna find it. All right.
I mean, even if it could spell, who cares? I mean, we weren't really talking about sperm. Like, we was just
Now,
talking about
now I
something
want to
else.
know how does it smell?
How does what smell?
I'm just wondering, high priestess, what does it smell like? Don't say chicken either, because I'm not going for that. We're not making
Well,
you
we're
look
not
like
gonna,
anything.
right?
Just have some questions, and I'd like to know what is that smell.
Yeah,
And
we're not
don't say
making you look.
chicken.
We're not making you look like a troll. You make yourself look like a troll. Answer the question.
Yeah, don't be so
Shrimp,
defensive.
fish, ice cream,
Mhm.
sherbet. What? What does it smell like?
It does have a
We want
smell,
to know.
but
But I'm thinking she's trying to mean that it
the smart
smells stuff.
yeah, they
Like,
have a sense of smell. That's what she's saying. Yeah,
yeah.
it can detect, but it's not a smell.
Well, I'm not. I mean, my whole thought process of it is like the whole history of it. I just don't agree with the history of abortion. That's my whole thing. Like, I don't know if. Hmm.
We're talking about Planned Parenthood or just abortion. Period.
Well, yeah, like Planned Parenthood and
No, okay.
stuff, because
Oh yeah.
you know
Because
she's going straight to the abortion is murder defense, you know.
Oh, now we get into the esoteric.
Egg is the body.
Mm-hmm.
Onions and garlic sauce, I've been told. Mm-mm.
That's what the egg smells like.
Jervis, you're something else.
Mm-hmm. He's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, my point exactly. It's mostly promoted in minority communities.
Of course, that was actually targeted toward minority communities, going back to when it was in New York before she actually spread it out. You know, she started in New York, in Harlem, as a matter of fact. We're black in the black community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, the two families can have a conversation about it if it's not too difficult. I know some people might not, like, want to talk about it with their family, but, you know, maybe it could help give them some perspective. You know what I mean?
That's why I say we need to go back to the old the old shotgun weddings. You break it, you bought it.
Yeah.
And if she don't want to name it, she gets, okay, you got to give her a bus ticket out of town. Got to have this baby someplace else. Can't shame her family.
Mm.
You want to protect him, guess what happens?
Mm-hmm.
Stop a whole lot of stuff.
Give it to the auntie.
You get caught
Auntie's
making out
about 60 years old, but somehow has a newborn.
Oh yeah, that happens. Yep, sure will happen. Kind of screws a kid up later in life. Figure out your aunt was your mother.
Yeah.
And your mother was your aunt.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that Chinatown movie with Jack Nicholson.
Mm-hmm.
And then it like turned out that Jack Nicholson was actually like his mother's grandson, and his sister was really his mother for real.
No, talking about with Faye Dunaway, where she was actually molested by her father.
Yep.
And had her daughter, or her daughter was her sister and her daughter.
Yep.
Yeah, hear about stuff like that. Hear about stuff like that all the time. But we had the race soldiers. Trying to keep the white folks safe.
Oh, they'll be okay.
Oh, yeah. You know, they have to keep black folks in line, especially when they gentrify. Yeah, I know it used to be your neighborhood, but guess what? It's not anymore.
Also, let's see. We got you mentioned the food stamps. Dropped a video. I haven't heard anything as of late about the cuts. At least not here in Chicago. And I've been trying to keep my eyes and ears open about it. And as far as those boxes, I haven't heard anything about that either.
I think the boxes were an experiment to see how people would receive it, and I think they haven't done it on a federal level, but the state requirements have changed depending on what state that you're in.
Mm.
So a lot of states you have to work so many hours a week to actually get your benefits.
Yeah, I do know about that. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it was with cash because I see a group of 50 and plus, and I think they get cash and they have to work.
Mm-hmm.
And they have some particular place they send them to actually work, and they give them car fare.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as with food stamps, I don't know. I haven't heard anything if they're going to implement that to working, but a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are already working and
Yeah,
food
and receiving
stamps.
food stamps. Yeah, in fact, they
Mhm.
are. Yeah, depending on the state. Um, I don't know if Illinois is actually doing it, but
Mhm.
there's about half your states would have a work requirement for food stamps, unless
Okay.
you're over like 65 or disabled, or I think if you get so much if you have children, but I still think there's a work requirement for the mothers.
Mhm. Hmm. And I wonder how they're going to do that because if they have children that are in school
Mm-hmm.
or not of school age, then they have to pay for them to go to daycare because the mother can't pay for it.
Mm.
That's going to be more money.
Yeah, I guess the state will have to figure that out on a state by state basis.
Yeah, that sounds like more money.
But
Mm.
they're supposed to be passing it sometime. Is it this month or maybe next month before the fiscal year? I think it's some later this month or early next month about the farm bill, and the food stamps go along with the farm bill.
Mm. Okay.
And food's probably going to go up because the flood in North Carolina, because it's a big spot for those big industrial farms for like pigs and chickens. So you had a lot of pigs and chickens that got killed during the floods.
Oh.
So so food prices probably will go up either later this year or probably early next year. You're gonna see a spike in meat.
Hmm. I've been noticing less fruit. I don't know. I was trying to see if it's my imagination, but it seemed like every
Uh,
place I went, that area for
mm-hmm,
all the vegetables and
mm-hmm.
I'm like, is this place looking smaller or is it me?
Because of tariffs and import duties and stuff like that. When you change those, then
Mm.
the vast majority of your variety of fruits, vegetables, and other kind of stuff come from all over the world. So it depends on where in the world they came from. So if a supermarket was getting fruit and vegetables from Thailand or someplace in Asia or in Latin America, all of a sudden there's tariffs that we don't know about, then it's not cost effective to actually bring them up and put them in the supermarket anymore. So you're going to see less of a variety.
Okay. All right. I thought it was me at first, and I'm like, no, it's too much of a coincidence.
I mean, in fact, as the tariffs go on and they start closing in start closing off the borders about what gets through and for what price, it's going to get a little worse. So variety is going to go down. Then you depend on the local economy. So whatever season it is, that's what kind of fruit, vegetables, and whatnot you're going to get, like it used to
Mm.
be.
Okay.
Because say like watermelons don't grow year round,
Yeah, I've been
and
afraid
apples,
of watermelon.
yeah. So apples and oranges don't grow year round. You know, a lot of your watermelons come from Mexico or Central America.
Yeah, I've been a little suspicious with watermelon as the last few years because
Mm-hmm.
every time I bought one and sliced it bad fell open,
Mm-hmm.
something wasn't right with it. I'm like, is they tampering with the watermelon now? Gee.
Yeah, they've been if they haven't been GMO, they've been how can I say they've been they're hybrids, especially the the ones that are popular now, which is seedless.
Oh yeah.
Remember back when you were young, seedless was really, really expensive.
Uh-huh.
Now they're the cheapest watermelons you can actually get, and the seeded ones are more expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
Because
Clone watermelon.
either GMO or hybrid. So now the seedless
Mhm.
watermelons you can find all over the place. There's the seeded ones that are hard to find now.
It's terrible.
Mm-hmm. I think the seeded ones you have to probably go to Texas, Louisiana, to find a good seeded watermelon now.
Mm.
Yeah. Too bad I don't eat watermelon.
How
First
dare
you eat okra, but you don't eat watermelon.
I don't like watermelon.
I'm in disowning your ass right now. How can you be in Louisiana and not eat watermelon?
Because I don't know. I just don't like it. It's meh.
It's meh.
Yeah. Not a lot of taste to it.
Watermelon? It's one of the
Yeah.
sweetest fruits you can get.
Not the ones my parents used to buy.
Really? You know what? You got to find one of them old dudes that can't read.
Uh-oh.
I'm serious. Find one of them old dudes that can't read and tell them to pick your watermelon.
Okay.
Yeah, report back now. I want to know.
Because if you get a watermelon without taste, then either your parents can't pick them or are you picking what seedless watermelons or what?
They had seeds in them.
Yeah, go to a farmer's market, find you an old Negro, okay, they can't read, can't put two sentences together, right? And tell him to pick you out a watermelon. He'll pick you out a good one.
Okay.
Well, my uncle used to tell me, he said, look for them, especially if it's outside, like at a farmer's market. Look for a fly. A fly will tell you which watermelon to pick, because he's gonna go to where the sugar is. The
Yeah,
fly
that
can
makes
actually,
sense.
fly can actually smell the sugar. He said two things. You look for I think it's like a solid sound when you pat it. He said look for the pat it. Look for the solid sound. Look at the stem and make sure the stem is like dry, because if it's dry, it means it's ripe. And then look for a fly. If fly lands on it's probably sweet. But failing that, look for an old Negro that can't speak and have him pick you one out.
As we cats hold the sign up. Can you read this? When you come up to him, what does that say? Yeah, come with me, follow me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say, you know how to pick a watermelon? Oh, girl, easy pick a watermelon. Come here. Come here. Let me show you. See that? Who your mama is? Can't pick no watermelon.
I don't think she liked watermelon either.
Evidently not.
She always picked the worst ones.
Maybe she didn't like sweet watermelons. So have you ever gone to pick one?
No.
Okay.
I've gone to pick other types of fruit, not watermelon.
Because they should be ripe, because it's the end of the summer. So go to the farmer's market, find your old Negro and tell them to pick your watermelon and report back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will do.
And don't have it with okra, okay?
Whatever. I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know why you don't like okra.
Oh, it's really easy. I've explained it. It's slimy.
Okay.
Jervis to try yellow watermelon, a yellow meat watermelon. Yeah, but they're harder to find though.
Mm. Is that like that honeydew or something?
No, it's a yellow meat watermelon. It's actually yellow. It is a watermelon, but it's yellow meat.
Okay.
They grow them. But they kind of. I haven't seen a yellow meat watermelon in good God 20 years.
Forever.
Yeah.
I have
No.
a grits band. What does that mean?
Hmm.
I'm reading the chat room.
Oh,
What?
grit. Oh, Cats has a grits band.
Like as in hominy and all
I
that?
think that's what they're talking about.
Okay.
It's a yellow,
Yeah, I
yellow with salt. Nah, I can't eat my watermelon with salt. That's too country for me. Like putting they're putting peanuts in your RC cola. Too country for me.
No, I've never mixed okra with grits. But that sounds interesting. I might try that.
Ugh. Make the hackles on my back stand up. Ugh. It's two things they should outlaw in the black community is okra and chitlins.
Okay, I agree with the chitlins. I don't like chitlins.
Don't like pig feet, but I understand. Okay. The knuckles, the pig feet, the hog itch, I understand. Chitlins and okra, I do not understand.
Yes, fish and grits. Yes.
Fish, oh yeah, fish and grits, or what they call shrimp and grits, which I don't understand.
No, I can't do that because I'm allergic to shrimp.
But you have some anyway, right? Every now and then, right?
Not since I was a little kid.
Okay. Oh, you have severe reaction?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh.
Cause my ex, I could tell when she ate shrimp because her eyes would puff up. So why the hell you eat it? She couldn't help herself.
Mm-hmm.
Next day she got to go to the doctor to get a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, my friend, she's gonna eat her seafood. She just gets her Benadryl and get ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know somebody who drinks Benadryl like a Capri Sun, basically.
It's like my grandmother said, your teeth is gonna dig your grave.
I can't even stand the smell of that shit. I start to itch just smelling it.
What's that? What shrimp? Benadryl?
No, shrimp
Oh.
and crawfish.
Mm. Yeah. You must be tough living in New Orleans, being allergic to it. Because it's everywhere. It's in everything, damn near.
Yeah. And then I've also lived in Florida too, so that's another difficult place to live. We be having seafood restaurants out there, nothing but that. So
And I said, Bridget Beanie said the best watermelon is Sugar Baby. You might be right. I've never had it. No, Sugar Baby. Some of the best watermelons I've had is actually in Central America.
is it under 21?
Under 21 what?
The Sugar Baby.
Oh, I don't. Must be. I never heard of it.
Yeah, me neither. I'm really looking. I want some fish. I have not had any good fish in a while. It's been a long time. I remember my parents used to go to the market and pick one, and they scale it and everything. Oh boy, that was some good eating when I was a little girl.
The old fashioned you buy, we fry.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
But now I don't even know where you can get some that's really good. I've been meaning to try whole food, but For some reason, I just don't think it's gonna be real good. But I'll go ahead and try one day.
Come on, buy some fish at Whole Foods.
Yeah, and see if I can fry it up and it tastes really well. But I haven't had any good fish in a long time.
I probably have to go with farm raised instead of ocean.
Okay.
You ever try some farm raised tilapia?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yep.
been a while, and then I stopped eating it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I found out it had no nutritional value, so I just stopped buying it.
Talking about tilapia?
Yeah, I used to love it for my fish tacos, but
Mm-hmm.
I just stopped
Well, yeah.
buying it.
Well, it doesn't have to. You have to eat it every day, but just for the taste.
Yeah, I did enjoy the taste.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's been kind of strange since the Gulf got all that pollution in it, and then what happened with the Pacific Ocean. So you see less of it. So I kind of cut back on my fish.
Oh, okay.
Or when
Yes.
whatchamacallit, BP had that oil spill, that
Mm-hmm.
was like a big devastation to a lot of people. A lot of people here in Louisiana,
Mm-hmm.
because they have a lot of fisher people out here. So all their stuff was oily.
Mm-hmm. Because you would think so, man. I went to Mardi Gras right after that, and
Mm-mm.
they were still hauling that stuff right on into the restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
They did not stop. I said, I see all the crawfish and the shrimp and stuff they pulled up, and said they come into the restaurants every morning. I said, I thought the Gulf was polluted. Where does fish come from? Where
Mm.
does crawfish come from?
Mm-hmm. I remember somebody was on the news. They was like, "Don't nobody want no oily fish," or
Yeah.
no, they said early fish.
Oh, yeah, Earl. Yeah. How they say Tome and what is Earl?
Mm-hmm.
On early fish.
Mm-mm.
So wait a minute. What did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Me and my cousins laughing at each other because because I don't pronounce the words right to them, and they don't. It sounds strange to me when it comes out of their mouth.
Yeah.
You've been around them white people too long.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Well, red snapper, they have farm raised red snapper too. So, and a lot of that stuff they've been bringing it from further down toward Central America and Latin America.
There's a place that has fish flowing in. I can't think of the name of the place now. What is that name? I know it's somewhere downtown, and I've been meaning to go.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of that place? But I know everything is like $40 and up,
Wow. Okay.
and I just haven't been able to justify that purchase, so I
No.
haven't gone.
No.
Right.
I mean, your toes better curl if it's $40 and up. Because I'm a basic dude. I don't go to fancy restaurants. I go by taste. It can be $100 a plate if it's worth $100 a plate
Yeah.
for the taste. I'll pay it,
Right.
but I don't pay for the view. Remember you guys didn't see Insecure, but there was Issa took Daniel to a restaurant and right off the marina. That I said I've been in there so many times. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
They said.
remember you talking about that.
Mm-hmm. And the food is only so. That's why I didn't go that often. But it's everybody goes there. Say if there's a wedding or something special, you actually go there and you sit. I rather Gladstones, which is further up in Malibu, which is right here, which actually hangs right off the shore.
Mm-hmm.
But the marina is expensive for this. Actually, a lot of people go to Redondo Beach, get the same view at a cheaper price.
That's smart.
Mm-hmm.
I got a few places like that here, like seafood places that got like $50 plates. The stuff be so according to some people that I know.
If you ever want to see me mad, make me pay $50 a plate or $100 a plate for something I didn't like. It should at
Right.
least taste out. At least the taste should be first. So at least should taste at least in the top 10% if you're gonna pay that much. And it should be something I can't get anyplace else.
Yeah.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said, give me the old greasy shack in the hood, where Big Mama done put her foot into whatever, and come out with a greasy ass bag.
Go home, tear it up, and lick
Tear
your
it up.
fingers.
He said, "I'll see you next week." When somebody bites into, where you get this from? That's when you know, okay, this, you got to keep her. Because a lot of my exes used to get that all the time. Where you get this from? Because they want to go to they don't want to go to the sit down restaurants and stuff like that, and where they get served and all that kind of stuff. And they talk about how lowbrow I am when I bring in something and they smell it. What's that? You don't want none of this, and they bite it. Where you get that from? Someplace you don't want to go.
Right.
I said I could take you, and they come to the little bitty old stand, and they turn up their nose.
What is this?
What is this? I don't know if I want to eat here or don't eat. You ain't gonna get none of mine. Okay.
Yeah. That's not fair. Yes.
Huh?
That's not fair. That's not nice.
I'm a Gemini. We like that. That's it. When somebody was saying that Issa was a Gemini, I said, no, she's not. She's a Capricorn. And he said, well, no, Geminis are sneaky and stuff like that. I said, but Geminis do things by themselves. I said, Dro is a Gemini. He's on a mission by himself, and when Molly turned on him and she tried to make nice, it's, oh, we talking now? I said, yep, that's Gemini. That's us.
You did that last review was finally something that sounded like I would want to watch it, but I'm still not gonna watch the third season.
You know what? It's like I could tell when they got rid of Daniel and they put Lawrence back in. I said, okay, whatever they were trying to do with Daniel didn't work.
Yeah. You think they like rewrote that last minute or something? Like
They probably, you probably had alternate scripts because they really wanted to explore Daniel, but thing is it on-screen chemistry. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and there's a reason you paired what's his name with Issa. It's because the on-screen chemistry actually worked. With there's a reason that you have him, and you can tell as soon as you see them as soon as you put them together, all of a sudden, okay, that's why they put them together, because the on-screen chemistry actually works. Even though I think Issa would like what's his name in real life. I think that's her kind of guy.
Daniel or whatever his name is.
Elon. I think that's what it's called. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Yeah. Well, they're both attractive guys. It is what it is.
It was because they both read for Lawrence.
Ooh. Okay.
And evidently, he said the chemistry worked as soon as they started reading the lines. So I guess their chemistry, you can tell their chemistry actually better because without Lawrence, you can tell there was something missing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Yvonne Orji and Issa Rae can carry the show by themselves.
Yeah. I just don't think people like when you change up the main cast, because he was like one of the principals. I know he wasn't like the main character, but there was already an established cast, and then they kind of just said whatever to him.
The thing is like just like anything else, like music or any kind of art. Okay, when you strike when you capture lightning in a bottle, it's hard to replicate it. So anytime you change a character, you risk changing the chemistry, and you're gonna lose people.
Mm.
Yep.
There's a guy in the chat room. He wanted to know, how do you approach a situation where a woman is eyeing you at work? And I joked with him. I said, very carefully, but I actually would have told him not to engage. But he asked a question for you. So
If it depends on if you want to go down that route, okay. Best thing to do is just say hello and make friends with her and see where it goes.
Don't
And
get
then you
me
can,
too.
because it's at work and you can, you know, because if she's been eyeing you at work, she's observed you. By the time you actually notice her eyeing you, she's been watching you for quite a while. So she's been watching you. So she's already interested. So the next thing is just go walk up to her and say hello. Or if you see if you can't find a way to approach her like naturally, like during a workflow, which is actually better. Um, Say if she's wearing a different perfume or she's changed her hair or something like this, just walk up and say, you know what? I like that on you. So I noticed, you say, I noticed your hair changed and it was okay before. I liked it before, but I really like that on you. Or she changed her perfume. That's the conversation started. And say, oh, by the way, introduce yourself. And if she's been eyeing you, she'll actually start to engage. And since you see her, every day, basically, then that gives you reason just to say hello. And you say like, what I would do if it were me, just say, once you introduce yourself and actually have a little banter, the next day say, hello, beautiful. Still like that hair. And you keep walking. And over time, that'll kind of build up a kind of rapport. But that's the easiest way. Because if you're working together, there's no rush. You're going to see each other every day. It's not like you're at a club and you got to put your bid in and get something solid because you might not see her again. If she's there, you're going to see her every day. Just build up the rapport over time.
uh-oh, he would throw it in there. He says, she's white and I'm black.
Yeah.
Well, if she's white and you're black, then then why did you mention her if that makes a difference? It wouldn't matter whether she's eyeing you or not. If she's eyeing you, it's basically the same thing. You would do exactly the same thing. There's no difference. The subject you would talk about, in fact, she's going to assume that you don't know much about her culture. She's going to actually teach you. In fact, white women are probably more approachable than black women. So you do exactly the same thing, and she'll actually probably really start talking to you more. Black women are a little bit more defensive. White women aren't. If she's already been eyeing you, then she's interested. Because she's giving you choosing signals. Black women, when they like you, they're a little bit more obvious. Because black women are less approachable, so they have to be more obvious. because black women, most black women will really let you know. If she been eyeing you for a while and you haven't got the hint, she gonna let you know. Like, nigga, what's wrong with you? Are you gay? Because I've been giving you choosing signals and you haven't noticed me.
What's good, everybody? How y'all doing tonight?
Hey, Q, what's happening?
Okay, how are you?
Speaking of which,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Mum's the word.
mm-hmm.
So what's up? What's up? What's up?
Open topic.
How are you?
we just answering questions from the chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I just woke up, seeing I was on here, trying to spread my presence and see how y'all doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was teasing you. I said you would wake up that last hour when you let a little male energy on.
Well, you know, Shaw, I told you I was studying earlier. I got the itis, and then I fell asleep, and then I woke up.
Yeah.
And stuff. Yeah, this studying thing is very hard, but I'm trying.
Well, you're trying to do what it takes a couple years into a couple of months, so it's going to be hard.
Me and Kat's been studying too, and she's seen that test, and she's like, "God damn!"
You probably forgot most of it. That's the thing. After you get out of, it's best to take it right out of high school, where it's still fresh.
I wish, because I grew up in New York, I didn't know nothing about the military like that. Like, all I ever was taught was either go to college or work. And the military was never an option. Like, I never knew the military was an option until I moved to South Carolina for college. And my homeboy that was working at Amazon told me about it. And he said, "Why don't you come take the test with me?" So I'm like, all right, I come take the test. I got like a 30. The recruiter said, once you get a 31, even though your jobs will be limited, at least you in here. So, and then, I just slipped away for a few months and a year, and little by little, my score been dropping. So I need,
it's just basic knowledge. You know what? I would say if you study for the SAT, the AFBAB wouldn't be any. It's basically the same thing. It's just a general knowledge test.
Yeah. Well, the parts me and Katz was focused on was like the math part. That's what the really killer is, the math part.
That should be the easiest part.
No, that was the hardest.
So what problems are you having problems with?
It's the fractions, decimals, converting fractions, pi, all that stuff, and then the word acknowledgement of matching each word together, and then reading the passage. That part.
Oh, reading comprehension.
Yeah, I went to Allen University in Columbia, South Carolina. Yeah, so like Ms. Kat's been doing it for a couple of weeks now, and I told her I was going to take a break until I'm ready to get back at it because I'm in the process of moving. And I just got my confirmation email this morning about transferring to the state I'm going to, and I'm just got to tell my people, my manager about I'm leaving and stuff. So. But this main test is a focus, and it's not that it's hard. It's just stuff I forget.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't understand why you're having a problem with fractions, though. Doesn't make sense.
It's been a while since I was, the formulas. It's just basic,
Well, what did I say? You memorize the formulas, and then you do the work. You have to write your formulas down on a 3.5 by 5 card. Memorize them. Memorize them. Don't just use, because most people just use them and have to keep going back and looking them up. Memorize them. Commit them to memory.
Because I actually went today and got me a notebook, and with the multiplications in the back. So the regular schoolwork, notebook. When I got that, I was like, damn, I can't remember multiplications. What the hell?
Because you haven't used them, they have to be committed to memory.
Yeah, like basic multiplication. I mean, like
There,
basically like everyday things. You know, with money type. You know, it's easier for that. It just
mm-hmm.
basic stuff I forget. Like
What
it's
kind
like
of phone?
basic.
What kind of phone do you have? You have
I got.
got an Android?
Yeah, I got an Android.
It's a it's a it's a it's a uh, it's a app called, I think it's called Math. Is it Math Quiz? And basically, what it does is basically it gives you, I think it's 25 or 30 questions
Mm-hmm.
and times you. I think it's 25 or 30 questions,
Yeah.
and it's addition, multiplication, and division,
Yeah.
and it times you. If you do that, it's like it's a game actually. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to give the right answer as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
So if you memorize your multiplication and your addition facts, basically, and then do that, basically, to get you up to speed, because it's a constant test and it's a speed test.
Mm.
Because a lot of my my students, I had a tutor, and
Yeah.
found out they were bad in basic math,
Yeah.
and basically the only way you can get around it is committing it to memory. You really can't. There's no other way to do it. There's no technique that you can actually
Yeah.
get around it. It comes down to actually memorizing your mathematical facts, and that's what you sound like you're weak in, because one, you probably never really learned them as well as you probably should have in the first place, which I
Mm.
suspect, which is a tragedy with um, the modern school system.
Yeah.
And secondly, you haven't used them for quite a while. So the thing is that you um,
Yeah. Well, Cass was there with me. She knows. You know what
I,
was going on.
I know, but I'm telling you, this is
Yeah.
how you can bring your speed up.
Yeah. I need my yeah. Because base not knowing multiplication really is not a good thing.
You get your 3.5 by 5 cards.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I got. I just got them. I
No,
got
no, no,
that.
no, no. Okay, no. The thing is, don't buy them. Write
Mhm.
them.
Yeah, yeah, the blank ones, the blank
Yeah,
card.
write them down.
Mm-hmm.
Write them down, because every time I can actually tell you, this is the best way to actually do it. Take say a set. I think 20 of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you already have the cards. Okay,
Yeah.
take your one. Well, no, your ones are easy. You memorize it.
Yeah.
Your twos you probably can do, right? Two
Yeah.
times whatever. You probably can do that
Yeah. Twos
by
and
memory.
threes. But when it
Uh,
gets to like fours and
yeah,
it's get crazy.
do the good old fashioned way. Break out your flashcards. First
Mhm.
thing you want to do is sit down and write them 5 times each
Okay.
one of them.
I think I used to do that as a kid because my father, you did
Hmm.
tell me about that. I think I did used to do that.
You sit down. It's because it sounds stupid. It makes you feel like you're a little kid, but basically you actually uh, because you have different memory engrams, right?
Yeah.
You got tactile. Okay, if you write them, that covers your tactile. When you look at them, especially when you write them and you look at them in the flashcards, that's your vision. You sound
Mm,
them out. Okay,
mm,
as you write in them, you repeat it to yourself. Say it's 4 times 1 equals
mm.
4. 4 times 2 equals 2. You do it in a set. You do 5 sets of that. Okay, because your auditory will actually start engramming it into your memory. Go through
Yeah.
the flashcards. Okay,
Yeah.
and then because your flashcards are your test. What did you
Yeah.
retain? And then you basically the ones that you get right, you put out on the desk. The ones that you get wrong, you put back underneath. And you should, by the time you finish, you should have the ones that you couldn't get.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
If
exactly what I'm gonna do in the morning.
Yeah, if you do that, depending on how much time you have and how much finger space you want, you do it for, say, your fours, your fives, and all the tens are easy. The ones and probably twos are easy, but all the ones in between, do that.
Yeah.
You
'Cause
write them down.
my study sessions usually be 2 to 3 hours, on the weekends, because that's the most time I have to myself, like today, I called off today because I just needed off.
That's
Shit.
why. That's why when you do, well, say if you try to memorize words,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you're basically your smartphone is your friend. Record yourself.
Yeah.
Why do you record yourself? One is to actually speak it out, and the second thing is when you're say you drive trucks, right?
Yeah.
Drive trucks. Play it. Whatever your study session is, play it. It will
Mm-hmm.
actually start refreshing your memory and actually building your memory up as far as what you just did. It will reinforce what you just did.
Yeah. I'm gonna
In
do
other
that.
words, you want to use as many memory pathways as possible. Just like I used to buy the little flashcards and stuff for my grandson. Nope, sit down and write it.
Okay.
Write it because writing helps with the memory. It's the
Yeah.
memory you're trying to attack.
Yeah.
Same thing with your formulas. Okay, if it's a formula you can't get, put it on flashcards. If you still can't get it, guess what? Write the formula 5 times each every day.
Yeah.
Remember that motherfucker after a week.
Yeah, I gotta get that big board. You know those what you call them? You know
Right.
those presentation boards that I don't know if you know people. When you do like presentations, like the 3 boards that fold into one.
Yeah. What
Well,
about it?
I'm gonna get that from Walmart tomorrow, and I just
Why?
thought about that. The formulas, put the formulas so I can just write them down.
You can write them down. The thing is, you want to commit them to memory.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
You want to commit them to memory. Write them every day. The reason you write them every day is because every time you use a neural pathway, when you write, that's a neural pathway. When you look at something, that's a neural pathway. When you hear it, it's a neural pathway. If you could taste it, that'd be even better.
Yeah.
But you can't.
Like it tastes like peach.
If you can actually assign a flavor to something that you can't remember, believe it or not, it'll actually work.
Mm.
But that's how memory X. Because I remember when my kids were small, I wanted to find out different techniques to actually teach them better. So I did a lot of stuff with memory. I did a lot of stuff with teaching techniques and stuff like that. And they always say one is trying to use as many pathways as possible. That's number one. Number two, if you can't associate it with something, they call that a peg.
Mm.
So in other words, to memorize, like memory experts use different parts of their body as a peg. If they want to remember a word or a something like that, they have like 5 or 6 pegs on their body. So when they touch it, they'll recall whatever it is that's supposed to be on that peg by associating that touch with that word. Or if you can add a picture, it's even better. So in other words, if it's a word you can't get, look it up, photocopy it. Will basically print a picture out, put it on tape it, or put it on the back of that card. So we actually there's a picture that goes along with that word. It actually basically double your memory speed. There's all kinds of ways to do it. But I'm saying is we're talking about just nuts and bolts way to do it. How I would teach it if I had you as a student. This is how I would teach it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that.
So basically, get all the formulas that you've gathered so far. Okay. Don't even look at them. Try, number one, call them by their proper name. Okay. So in other words, if you have a distant formula, write down a distance formula. If you had a formula for fractions, it has a proper name. Call it by its proper name. And then take a blank sheet of paper, write down the proper name, and see if you can memorize the formula. If you can't, that's what you don't know. Go back and memorize it. Go back and write it 5 times each. You do that enough, you remember the motherfuckers. Trust and believe.
Yeah. I wanna, like I told myself this a couple of weeks ago, when I move, I want to do it that first week, that test that first week. So I got like 6 to 8 weeks to get prepared.
Yeah.
So 2-hour sessions for Saturday and Sunday. So that's like 6 hours a week.
Yeah. The first thing, a long time ago, this guy, I think he said, what is it? Easy. Was it Easy? I forget what the name of the tape was. He said, first thing you want to do is find out what you don't know.
Yeah. Like I ain't gonna lie to you. That test, some of those answers I do know. from just doing it. But it's like the complicated stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was like, God damn, what the hell? And then they have answers, and then they have some. I just reading the questions, it just don't make sense to me. She said burnt cookies.
Well, sometimes whatever helps. Well, the thing is, you have to. The thing is that each question or each kind of problem has a class.
Yeah.
You try to find out what the name of that class is, and then you start looking up on the internet, so you get a lot of them, and even on YouTube on how to solve them.
Yeah, but sure. Once I get these basic, like the 4 sections, you know, the mandatory 4 sections out, the test is a breeze because they don't really care about that. They just want to know what you know.
So you want the basic knowledge.
Yeah, I got to do the basic 4 test. You know, out of the 8. So because I did the test before, I got like a 62 on science, automotive shop, and electricity. I got like 50s and stuff, so that's nothing to worry about. I don't need to focus on that because I know that. It's just that basic 4, you know, that they really look at, you know.
Yeah, well, that's basic knowledge because that's what the military functions on. You got to be able to read orders. You got to be able to comprehend. And
see, if they only focus on the part that I really needed on the job, I needed like the electrical and the science, I would have been in there like already. That would have been it.
So basically, falling down on general knowledge.
Huh?
Falling down on general knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah, just the general stuff.
Yeah. So basically,
word knowledge, math, reasoning, arithmetic. You know, the 4 core. The 4 core. Yeah.
Arithmetic. Most of the time, people fall down on arithmetic because they don't know their basic facts. It's not committed to memory.
Yeah. So, am I the guest of honor tonight?
No, not really.
I thought I felt special.
Of course, you're special, Q. Yes, you are.
Okay.
Any other questions from the chat? Because we only got like 15 minutes or something like that. So
damn, I really came late.
Yeah, Bridget's saying the same thing. The more senses you use,
I'm
the better.
Yeah, like you told me that last week, and I did get the notebook, the flashcards, and now I just gotta put it to work now.
Basically, record all your sessions and play them back.
Yeah.
So in other words, it extends your study time.
Actually, yeah, and I just bought this tablet today, and I think it got a microphone. I got to check so I can record myself because I just, it's just a cheap tablet. So
if you have a smartphone, same thing.
Yeah. I might get sidetracked on the phone. There's nothing on the tablet. There's no internet, so I'd rather just use the tablet.
Well, the thing is when you record your sessions, and then if you're on the phone, you can't really listen to yourself in your study session. When you have your downtime, you can't get to a book or something like that. You actually listen to yourself, stuff that you want to remember. It's like if it's words and definitions, you do that. If it's formulas, you basically call out the formula. It basically will ingrain it into your memory, which is what you want.
So, Pat, you ready to take the test again?
She's muted.
Oh, she's muted. Oh. Those, trust me, me and her have been doing it for about a good month now, and she's like, "God damn it!" I was like, "I told you, why you think I didn't pass it the first time?"
Well, I haven't taken it in. Good grief! I think the last time I took it, it was.
You probably took it on paper then.
I can't. It might have been on paper. I can't remember.
Yeah, you probably took it on paper. Yeah,
it might have been on paper. It's been about 30 some odd years.
Yeah, you took it on paper. Yeah, because I can send you the link. I can send you the link for the just for you just doing the practice test just to see how you stand. And I did the practice test myself, and I can't get over a damn 25.
Okay, yeah. Send me a link. See what it
All right.
looks like.
You want me to put it in Discord or right here?
Wherever you want to put.
I'll put it right here.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, let me go to the website because I don't want to give you out the wrong information. If anybody want to take the practice test, here it is.
Yo,
So you ready to take the test, Kat?
Not really.
See, BGS, I told you.
Mhm.
I told you that test is ridiculous.
I haven't taken it in a long time, so.
Yeah. Oh, here it is, right here. Yeah.
So I might be just as bad as everybody else, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Last time because I took it about 4 times, I got 80s, and which is it was actually a subset of the one they give you for the academy. That's like a freaking 6 hour test.
The academy?
Yeah.
That's one thing I wanted to ask, because I never asked this before about the academy. How does that work? You know, if is it high school or a college type thing? Like,
No,
how,
I'm talking about the military academy.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, you only have 4 of them, so it's college. It's actually
Oh, I can't put the link. I'm not a mod, so it won't let me put it in the chat.
You can put it in Discord.
Oh, I'll give it to Char Willie and she'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah. Or you can put it right here in this Google thing. Where
you could put it in the Hangout.
How you do that?
If you go to the you on phone or you on
I'm on my phone.
Oh yeah.
I just gave it to Char Willie. So if anybody in the chat room want to take the test themselves to see where they stand at, here it is. There you go. I don't know how to do this chat room thing for Google.
Yeah. Bluetooth tone. It's best to take it right out of high school.
Yeah, I waited too long, man. I wish if I would have known somebody that was doing military in New York, man, I would have been going. Like, I would have took the route that everybody would have took, like Cerulean and everybody,
Mm-hmm.
I would have been golden right now. Because what, 18, if I 18, 19, I'm 27 now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably be retired. I'll probably be retired in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, 18 and 20. It's 36, bro. I'll probably be retired by 36. Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Here y'all go. Char put it in the chat if y'all want to take the test yourselves. Like,
I haven't taken it.
I think I'm joking. The test is ridiculous.
I haven't even seen the ASVAB in Jesus, like say 30 years.
Yeah, I want to see your score. Like, damn.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, well, I haven't seen. I've been out of high school. What? 40 years. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff we don't use, and it's like you don't use it, you lose it. Just gotta learn it again.
Yeah.
Like they have some questions there like you use for simple life. Like if Bob has 5 apples and Tony has 3 apples and Rob has 7, how much do Pam has? What the hell? How would I know what Pam has? They didn't tell me what Pam has.
How much are there all together?
Yeah, now I didn't think of that before, but now after doing that problem a couple of times, what you do is you add all the 3 people, right, and you divide it by the 3, the sum by the 3, and you will know how much she will have. I'm like, but how would you know she has that? Because
they have to give you a They have to give you a clue to what her proportion is.
Yeah.
Does she have a proportion of the total?
Yeah. It says she has half. Kat, she had half or 3/4 or something like that. Something crazy. It's like, that's why I'm like, Kat, what the hell are they talking about?
Yeah.
I'm over here on the damn writing board with Kat's like, see, this is stupid. How am I supposed to know what she has if she only has 3/4?
Is she has three quarters of their total, or was she? What is it?
Yeah, 3/4 of the total.
Yeah. You add them all up, and you multiply it by 3 and divide it by 4. Remember, a fraction is a division problem.
Yeah. See, stuff like that, I got frustrated. I was like, what the fuck? And then they have answers like 37, 2, 4. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, that's basically that is.
I'm like, cats, help me.
Well, basically, those are just simple, basic algebra problems.
Yeah, always solve for X.
Yeah, solve for X. They have say solve for X and Y. Like, how the hell am I supposed to know what X and Y together? Y'all want me to know what X is?
You have to find out what X is, and then Y should be some proportion of X. So in other words, so what does Y equal? Does Y equal 2X or equal 1X? What does it equal?
Yeah.
But if you solve for X, then basically you put Y, set everything else equal to Y.
Yeah.
Solve for X, and that's what Y will be once you eliminate all the X's.
Yeah. Well. Oh yeah. Shit.
Or you solve for Y in terms of X. In other words, what is Y? Y is
you know about these math stuff. It sounds easy to you, but somebody that haven't done it in like years.
I haven't done it in years either.
but you put more education on math and all that good stuff than I am.
The last time I really picked up a math book was when my daughter was like 2 years old. She's 30 now. Damn. So I haven't really picked up a math book in 28 years.
Damn, that's wow.
Which is older than you are.
Hell yeah.
So it's just a matter of doing it. You just have to do it.
He said learning Chinese is easier than learning.
No, that's not true. You try learning a language versus mathematics. Basically either one takes time. If you have the basics, the rest is just formulas and techniques. And if you don't understand it, especially if you're in practice, if you already have the answer, you basically keep turning that fraction around till you get the right answer. And if you do enough of them, you kind of learn, okay, for this problem, I need to do this. For this problem, I need to do that. And 9 times out of 10, unless you're doing something really, really complicated, like in chemistry, you got to do strings of fractions.
Oh,
because you're dealing with chemical proportions, right? So you might have a problem when you string it together. You probably have 5 or 6 proportions all put together, and you have to turn them fractions the right way. Otherwise, you're not going to get the right answer.
Yeah. See, I couldn't be no chemist. I would have fucked some shit up.
If you bang your head against it long enough, you'll learn it.
You'd be like the scientist says, put 3/4 of that in the test tube, and then I want a 1/2 of that in this. What? Huh? I hope I got my gloves on.
Half of it ain't. If it's a fraction, if you want to take half, you multiply.
Yeah.
So in other words, if it's a whole number, you take half, you divide by 2. If it's a fraction, you multiply by 2.
CB, I was just joking.
Well, 1/16 is half of 1/8, so you multiply by 2. Yeah. But most people aren't going to tell you that.
Yeah.
And I used to get in trouble with my especially my kids when they were small. I would give them shortcuts. Teacher would get mad.
Hold up, I saved this problem earlier. I want to get your insight on it.
Okay, go ahead.
I was doing it earlier. And
okay, we got about 5 minutes.
All right, we got 5 minutes. Cool. I don't want to bore everybody.
No, well, Char has to go to sleep. That's what it is.
Oh yeah. I know she got the wine is set in. I know.
What did you drink tonight, Char?
A little bit of the what it was, the Behringer Founders estate. I still had some left over.
It must be good because you couldn't remember what it was. And you were giggly tonight. I said, Char must have some good stuff, boy.
I started a little early, so that's what it was.
Go ahead, give it to me.
All right, it's 2 questions. Wait, the other one I can't see. My face is in the way. All right, it says, which of the following equivalent to open parentheses and -3 close parentheses, open parentheses, and -5 close parentheses. Like, what the fuck?
Wait a
I
minute.
know.
Say that again.
All right. We got 2 parentheses basically, right? One says n subtracted 3, and one says n subtract 5.
N -3 and n -5.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Is
the
it
answer
that,
is, and they got 4 answers.
Okay. Well, have you figured out what n is? Did they give you n?
Nope. It just says follow. It just says which of the following is equivalent to the problem.
is the answer like something like n squared something something?
Yeah,
Plus
it's n squared. All of them are n squared. You just gotta get it.
Squared plus 15, I want to say.
See, I know it's 15 because you multiply.
No, it
5
can't be
times
15
3.
because 15 is not a perfect square. So it has to be.
Oh, right.
So it has to be. If it has to be like n squared -9.
No.
Or n squared -25.
They have these are the answers.
It'll give you n -3 or n -5.
Well, here's the 4 answers. Answer 1: n squared -8n plus 15. B.
Say it again. N squared -8 plus what?
No. The answer, the number 8. Well, the 4 problems are n squared -8n plus 15, n squared plus 8n minus 15.
Oh, you have to expand them. Oh, so in other words, you get basically you're taking the root and you put it in parentheses and putting a square on it, and then you have to expand them, right?
I do not know BGS. I don't know.
Like, what's some formulas for a parabola? What are those called? Like a quadratic?
A quadratic equation, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're trying to figure out.
No. He's talking. It's called. Usually, I think they used to call it binomial expansion, where you have to take you take a root like n -3, you put in parentheses, and you square it, and then when you have to square it, you sometimes when you square it, you get a perfect square. But a lot of times you're going to get a middle. But basically, what you have to do is you have to take say like if it's n -3. Okay, then you basically take what you're supposed to do is take replicate this, say n -3 and multiply it by n -3, but you have to multiply it by all the factors. So it's like n minus n gives you n squared, and then n times -3 gives you n -3. What is it? He'll give you a -3n, and then if you -3 times -3 will give you a +9. So basically, you will get a n squared -6n plus 9 when you expand it.
Okay, hold on. Let me show you BGS. Hold on.
But that's expansion, and some things you can do by looking at it, but other thing if you can't look at it, then you have to actually do it the longhand. How you do it longhand is basically multiplying each factor by each other. So in other words, if you square it, you're going to have basically 2 sets. You multiply the first number by the first number, and then the first number by the second number, and then you do it again. The first number by that, and then on and on and on. So
I'll put it in the Google Hangout chat so you could look at it right.
And then when you combine it, then you're going to get the final answer.
Yeah.
But it's easier to if I remember what they actually call it, I'll actually put the YouTube link up in Discord when you actually look at it. So you can actually know what it's called. Then you can see how they do it. You can see probably have like 50 people that show you how to do it. If you look at it 50 times, you'll get the gist of it. It's not that hard.
Wait, did Neon Eyes ever went to the military?
Or Neon Eyes? Yeah. She did.
Is it possible to score 108? Because I thought you can't even get to like a 99.
I don't know. I haven't taken it in such a long time.
Somebody told me that nobody really could get up to 100 because it's time anyway, and the highest score somebody could get is like a 95.
What is
Unless
it?
you're rushing it.
Yeah, it depends. If you're good at it, there's always somebody that can max it out.
Wow. I think oh damn, I don't know. 108, shit. You must be a general, son.
It depends. It depends on how they score it, because they depending on when you took it, they score it differently.
Yeah, because they said they score it based on the time you did the whole test, plus whatever you got right and whatever you got wrong. I'm like, what the man? That shit is ridiculous, man. Yeah. But yeah, I put the pictures, the screenshots I took earlier today in the chat, so you can look at it it's in the Google. The Hangout. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those two questions stumped me. Like, what the hell? What?
Or put it in Discord, because we're getting ready to end this one.
All right, cool. All right, everybody. The party is over. You don't have to get out here, but the stream is going to shut down. The after party is over at another place, but it's not here.
Well, this one was quiet, so tomorrow will probably be lit.
Oh shit! Good thing I'm off for tomorrow, man. I'm going to have my popcorn ready because I know some foolishness coming through.
I think I'm probably going to have to put more content on this channel because when you don't put up recorded content, it kind of goes flat. So I have to put more recorded content.
Yeah.
In this channel, give people something to talk about.
Now, Q, you just don't be the cause of that. Which we'll call it.
What's that?
What do I want to say? Drama.
What you mean, Cats? I don't understand what you're talking about.
Don't jump on the Hangout and start talking crazy.
Oh no, I'm not jumping in tomorrow. I'm going to be in the gallery in the what's the peanut gallery like the rest of them. I'm not jumping on no damn Shark Tank.
Yeah, no instigating either.
I'm gonna be in a peanut gallery. That's it. Unless something happens and I jump on.
Yeah, the only Shark Tank I want to see you on is the one that comes after Mad Money.
He said Mad Money. Yeah, that's an interesting guy.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for coming.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you for the conversation. Open topic. Appreciate it. Thank you, chat room, for participating. And thank you for the good laugh for Humble Wolf, because that was hilarious earlier.
Oh, what I missed? What I missed?
I haven't heard Char laugh that hard in quite a while.
What I missed?
Humble Wolf was advertising his seed.
Oh, yeah, that dude. There's something wrong with that dude.
Hey, he's seen a lot of lovely ladies. See all these beautiful pictures, and he's trying to, he's a dude. Okay, he's gonna try.
He's quite the character.
Yeah,
he is interesting.
Yeah, we let him try.
When he said he'll lick freaking Tiffany Haller's mole, I said, this dude is nasty.
He's trying. Hey, yeah, he's trying. So we let him get his Mac on for a minute. We told him to tone it down. Okay, you didn't get no takers. Okay, so okay, time to tone it down. We don't want to have 4 hours of this. This is not a.
He trying to use it as a hookup site or something?
Yeah, of course.
Man, get on the fish, man. Unless they not checking you out. Shit.
Oh, women do it too. They come here. They try.
Oh yeah, I already know.
Try to hook up. But the thing is, it causes. We don't want no hard feelings when things go wrong. So if you shoot your shot, if you get a bite, you take it offline. No harm, no foul. Okay.
Oh, he gonna be doing a solo mission, man. BJs, don't say that.
Huh?
You're gonna be doing solo missions, man. Don't be saying that.
Hey, the thing is, I don't want to be responsible for it here. So we try to keep the women from doing it. We try to keep the men from doing it. Okay.
I don't understand why he tried. I don't know.
He's new here. He's seen nothing but women, so he's gonna try, of course.
Okay.
Char was having a good time though. She was laughing.
I gotta listen to the playback, man. I missed out on 4 hours of good stuff.
Yeah.
Char was in tears. Well, she was laughing so hard.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Well, he tried to shoot your shot with you, Char?
He always does that. I don't pay him any attention.
Oh, damn, Char, you got something coming your way.
Yeah, he was after Neon Eyes for a minute. He was after, so he
what he's doing is trying to pick
he's trying to cut one out of the herd.
yeah.
We used to say cut one out of the herd.
Oh, okay.
So like lions, he's trying to cut one out of the herd.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you used to say in the club. They said, yeah, just cut one out of the herd. That's how I got my fiance. I cut her out of the herd. She came with 10 women. I cut her out of the herd. They got back. I was sitting in their seat.
Damn.
I said, I told the fellas, I said, that one's mine. They said, bullshit. Watch. She gave me that look. I said, that one's mine.
There's a lot of ladies in the chat. Why they not on? It is a lot of ladies in the chat. Why they not on? They scared of me or some shit?
Nah, they don't feel like talking tonight. So if they're happy, you can tell when they're happy because if they had issues, they'd be on.
You know, damn freaking YouTube done reported my damn photo.
What did you do?
I had white women in the background.
You had white women in the background and they reported your photo.
Yes, my profile photo. Why you think I don't have no profile photo on my damn YouTube?
Oh my God.
Wait a minute. You had white women in the background. Were they clothed?
I'll show you. Yes, I'll show you.
Were they clothed?
Something like that.
Something like that?
What do you mean?
I'll show y'all in Discord.
All right. Okay. Wait a minute.
Yeah, you sure don't have a avatar in the chat room.
Yeah.
But it showed up on the Hangout.
No, see, the Hangout one, I just put that up just now. But look, if I type in the chat room, it's blank. I'm closed for like 30 days, they said. I'm like, what the fuck?
So were the white women clothed? Do they have clothes on?
Something like that.
No, okay. So the answer is no.
No.
The answer is no.
Next time, tell them to put clothes on.
What is it about you and naked white women, man?
It was an accident, man. It just happened.
Hey, we were just talking about that. What were we talking about? Shit just happened.
It just happened.
I'm standing in the middle of the freeway. I got hit by a car. It just happened.
It's always something with you.
Yeah, we know what it is. You know what it is. He follows that little man downstairs. That's his problem. Story of your life, ain't it, Q?
I'll tell you on Discord. I can't say it here.
When did it start? About 11, 12? Start getting you in trouble?
No, it started late, man. It shit started like a couple months ago.
No, bullshit, man. Don't bullshit. When did it start, man?
I'm telling you straight up, a couple months ago.
When did your penis start getting you in trouble?
All right, let's end the stream. I'll tell you on. I'll tell you. Yeah, end the
I'm gonna let Char. Okay, we'll end the stream. All right, we'll let Char. We'll end the stream.
Hear this shit.
Give Char a good chuckle before she goes to bed. All right, folks, we're gonna end the stream. So, if you want to hear offline, you have to jump on the call. But we're gonna end the broadcast. So we'll see you guys next week, or see you guys later on tonight.
All right.
So anyway,
night.
Night.
Good night.
Have a good one. Thank you, guys.
Okay.